Good morning, everybody. If you're on the West Coast, if you're on the East Coast, good afternoon. Or if you're anywhere else besides the West or East Coast, Middle America. Um, if you and also to any non-Americans that are watching. But yeah, we're actually Trumpers now here, so we don't care about you anymore. Sorry. Um, what's up, people? What's up? So yesterday was eventful to say the least, right? Right? I have gotten a lot of sleep. I was up yesterday when you guys saw me, it was 2 days ago, actually. Sorry, 2 days ago. I had been up for like, at the end of that, I was up for like 48 hours, man. Um, but I have had time to do a little bit of introspection. Okay, that's always good. And I need to correct myself. I need to correct myself because I saw a tweet that got like 200 likes that was like shitting on Queeman for what happened 2 days ago or whatever. Um, it was not wrong to cover me at all. I did not have a right to be mad, unironically. I do it to other people. Logically, I should have realized this, but obviously, because I'm personally involved, I wasn't being entirely logical and I was upset, right? No shit. Um, I was wrong. I was wrong about this, and Queeman did not do anything wrong there. Neither did anybody else who covered it. That was completely on me. Well, it was not completely on me, but it wasn't on them either. It was actually on somebody else that isn't here anymore. Um, I've gotten over it, believe it or not. I got my I It was not as bad as I thought it would be. I got my lick or I got people got their jabs in, admittedly so. And I deserved it. I deserved it because I expect it from other people. The reason I show up to debates and hard conversations, all of them, is because I expect that from others. And I expect, what things I should be okay with things done unto myself as I go and do to others. So I was wrong, and I'll say that a million times. Now, let me be clear as well. I was not raped. I understand there was some vague posting there. If this was a rape accusation, this would not be being litigated between us. It would be I'd be going to the police, which is what I urge anyone who was actually raped to go and do. I didn't have sex with, but I did have activities. One could say your mind could fill in the blanks. With another individual who's also been in the space. We It was during my, and I'm just being honest about it, this is the final time I'm going to talk about it. So I'm just putting it on the table now that I have a non-emotional revised take. I did have some relations with that individual. By relations, I mean sexual activities that were not sex itself. Once again, you could probably fill in the blanks. Besides the point. Um, I was not really well during that time period at all. It was the week after the Lio drama had occurred. I was still in England. I was like offline. I like literally at that point in time, I believed that I was just like completely on my fucking own. I was in like a totally shit state and was drinking every day to cope with it while I was away. I normally don't like to get this personal, but if some of it's going to be on the table, I got to put it all on there. So there's no room for misinterpretation. It's not like, here's some embarrassing information about me. I'm going to be honest about it because muted, professional streamer. We're back. If the stream crashed for you, my OBS crashed ever since my computer stopped working. It's been crashing for some reason. If stream stopped working for you, all you got to do is refresh it. Back to, I don't know what you guys heard up to. So once again, nobody did anything wrong except for one person in the context of they're just like an asshole, incredibly manipulative. But when I got back, I started pulling away from them as a result because circumstances existed then that led to participation in things I wouldn't have otherwise done. Not in like a way like I was raped. but in a way, like, I think you're like an asshole for pursuing, like, I was not raped. If I was raped, I'd be going to the police, right? It's not like a traumatic thing. But with that being said, right, uh, I pulled away from this person. I didn't want anything to do with them. Not long after I got back, as I started to, like, as my head got clear when the drama was over and I started to think about shit, I just wanted everything to go on as normal and them to just become like a normal, just another fucking spurg in the community. They didn't like that at all. That I was just treating them like I would treat any of you. They didn't like that at all. And as a result of this, they have been nonstop for the last 5 months attempting to. First of all, they blew up on me and did a stream. It was a total disaster for them. But for the last 5 months, because they've wanted me to date them, they have done everything in their conceivable power to fuck with me or get me to start talking to them again. Multiple attempts to reach out and rebuild a bridge. Multiple attempts to get back into my chat because I had them banned from it. They literally went to the extent of they knew I was watching a show, so messaged me a spoiler to that show just to fuck it up. Per 5 months ago, after they did their stream, I've not been in friendly communication with this person ever. And I get, because I was hardline, not talking to them or reestablishing the bridge, he decided to threaten me while Jimmy was live to leak this exchange. Saying shit like I get flirty when I'm drunk or something, right? People inferred enough. It's a very good question. And I did, because I was like sleep deprived and shit, I tried to give non-answers that left it as vague as possible because I don't like putting my personal life on the internet. But that just filled in the blanks and made this public content. And because it was public content, people like Queeman, people like Dickers, people like have every single right to cover it. Obviously, my take 2 days ago wasn't great because I was fucking emotionally invested or connected to it, right? But that's that. That's all this is. It's literally a case of somebody that has not left me alone for 5 months. From after I thought they were not a rapist. Let's just be clear, not a rapist. Just like not a good person, an asshole. And I guess it just spiraled into this. So it's out there online. You know, it is what it is. You can make your jokes. I don't take it personally. You could cover it how you want. But this is just going to be the final place I say that definitively. I don't want there to be any misconceptions, and I don't want people to blame people that don't deserve to be blamed for what occurred. With that being said, I mean, nobody needed to know that. No, it's already out. It's being covered. There are people saying I got like anally raped and stuff. So like, yeah, telling you what actually happened would probably, trust me, there's no part of me that wants to be talking about this. But I made after this person like threatened and leaked enough for people to infer, and then I like they supposed to shut it down a little bit. There were misconceptions and it became, but that was just not a good way to handle it on my part, right? The only reason you're knowing about this is because it is already public and I don't want there to be any misconceptions. So that's that. I don't feel, I've gotten over it. Unironically, I am completely over it. You can make as many jokes as you want. And I don't blame anyone or have any bad feelings about it. Are the STD rumors true? No, I've never had an STD. I wouldn't have been able to get an STD. You could have played it off. I could have played it off. 150% I could have played it off. Absolutely. Absolutely. I shouldn't have done like vague posting. Sure. I could have played it off. I didn't handle it the best when somebody was threatening to like leak intimate details of my life. And that's on me. But I don't think that's the end of the world. I got to be honest with you. I think that, it was a mistake on my end. But I don't think I don't think it's the end of the world at all. With that being said, With that being said, thank you, Kel, for the 10. It's okay, Aiden. You got E-Touch. Thank you. Um, so now that that's said, now that's said and done, we have something else to talk about. Um, I have been trying to debate Parry for over a month, and he has consistently run to the point where, um, like I will join VCs, I'll join a VC, and he'll leave. He is he's terrified of me, unironically, which is hilarious because who would ever be terrified of me? He is for some reason. Well, it's actually not for some reason. It's because whenever I'm down, that's when he decides to come in and go on the attack against me. So when the London drama was happening, he decided to go in and start like leaking details about like who I liked or whatever, to sort of add fuel and get his like digs in, right? When he flipped a coin and decided he was gonna leak some shit about my family, then I get and all of a sudden he's willing to talk to me and debate on it. So we get in call and debate, and not a lot of people saw this because it happened on his stream, and he streams like 37 concurrent. He got the fucking floor wiped with him. It was the most pathetic performance I've ever seen, and ended with a revelation that he was molested by his own father. It was so awkward at the end. I unironically kind of felt bad for winning that because it literally ended with this guy like having to realize molested by his dad. That's besides the point. Neither here nor there. Really awkward and weird, by the way. But ever since that debate where he came at me, just bear in mind, all he does is he comes at me, right? He came at me. It went horribly for him, and he knew it went horribly for him. So he, after that moment, avoided me at all costs. Except when user Kosher Kathy fed him a take about, it was like a take about something in regards to my Repsion coverage. He butchered it completely, got it wrong, made false claims about me, and I wanted to debate him on it. Realizing how the last debate went, he wanted nothing to do with it. Muted again. I don't know why OBS keeps crashing. I unironically don't. My computer just got fixed. It's like being really fucking weird. If it crashes, I just stream auto restarts, so you guys don't gotta worry. Back to what I was saying. So that goes. So they don't want this story out. Unironically, they don't. The new cabal is shielding this fat pussy. That's my criticism, actually. That's my criticism of all the other guys. I don't think they did anything wrong. My criticism is that this fat pussy still has a leg to stand on in this space. He has, ever since I challenged him to a debate on his publicly litigated criticism against me, he has not only run from me, he's left VCs that I've joined, he sent in his like emotional support, like 35-year-old parasocial imamis to come defend him on his behalf. What else was it? It got so bad that everyone turned on this guy. Even Bug Squander, his like e-father who runs Spicy Jet, literally publicly said like, Parry was banned from Spicy until he debated me. Eventually it was going on for so long they just gave up. But he has just run blatantly and shamelessly. And I'm not forgetting. I don't forgive. I might have put it on hold because we have a bigger threat we're dealing with right now. But we could sort of take a break from that. This guy is retweeting shit like this. All the while, this is a public challenge. 120 of you watching, we expect people to show up to the debate. We get on people for running. He made publicly litigated criticisms against me. Pull the fuck up. But what is his Twitter? It's like Green Gary Gaming. He's retweeting. It's like, this guy's so pathetic, dude. He's like retweeting shit like this. Hold on. Fuck, I can't find it. Where is it? Here we go. I think it was More filters. Oh yeah, like the stream if you're here. User. Why is it not in? Fuck me, dude. I need the screenshot of him. It's like one of the clipping. I don't have it up. He's retweeting clipping accounts for himself that are getting on other people for running from the debate. This guy was going fucking hard on this Wildster dude for a week, and many of you supported him for it, for not showing up to the debate. Because we as a community unilaterally understand that only fat fucking pussies, well, they're not necessarily fat, this one just is, right? Only pussies publicly litigate criticism from behind a stream and then will not enter a live confrontational transparent setting where they're willing to be challenged on those beliefs. Only pussies do that. And make no mistake about it, this guy is a pussy. He goes in for the attack whenever he perceives I'm down, just as he does for everybody else, and then runs like a bitch whenever it's like whenever we're on equal footing. He heard about this shit that was going on 2 days ago, and he broke this like embargo on my name. He wasn't mentioning my name. People who were mentioning my name in his chat were getting banned. He broke this embargo, say, I'll talk to Aiden about getting raped. So you know what? I want to take you up on that, Parry. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Except he doesn't want to talk about it because last night there was a VC in the Spice Pit, which is a known voice chat of the infamous spicy chat where people hash out issues and watch like live dramas that are happening. Stale was in there the other week, right? So he's in there and everyone's telling me to show up because of my drama. They're all making fun of me, etc., etc. And I'm like, you know, I don't really want to deal with it, but it's like, whatever. Anything to fucking debate this guy. I see he's in VC. I join. He leaves immediately. I leave. I see he's in VC again. I join. He leaves immediately. So I just wasn't going to show up unless he was there to debate me. But they were demanding it. They essentially just wanted to make fun of me for all the shit that happened to me. So I got in VC. I took, people got their digs in at me. It didn't go as well. Anyone who was there knows it did not go as well for some as you would expect. Besides the point. We actually have his moments in that VC recorded. And we're going to watch them. We're going to watch them. Why am I bullying people? Let me just like get something clear. Okay? I would never go at anybody this hard or for as long as I've been going at this guy if it weren't for, hold on, the type of person I just cannot stand, like detest with every fiber of my being, are cry bullies, dude. People who want to get in the fight when it's fucking easy for them, get all the benefits of it, but never actually take on a real challenge. I think those people are some of the biggest pussies on earth. I think they should be unilaterally, or they should be unequivocally made fun of, denounced, and driven out of any space that they're a part of for being the fucking laughing stocks that they are. So let's take a look at this. Let's take a look. Was it not sent to me? I thought, for fuck's sake, dude. For fuck's sake. I literally got sent. I'm sending it in inbox. I'm sending it in inbox. It's not in inbox. Yeah, Aiden, just fucking watch this like thing that's not in your inbox. Please. Watch this thing that I didn't send you anywhere. I'm going to tell you about this thing so you watch it. And I'm going to tell you I sent it. But I actually didn't send it anywhere. You missed a dono, by the way. I'm about to read it. Hold on. God, I fucking love the geniuses here, dude. It's like crazy. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Future Nightmares, for the 5. Aiden, I'm sorry to hear what happened to you. I'm just very worried. Can you get a burger for me to help cheer you up? What is this guy's obsession with me eating a burger? Am I getting that skinny? I had one the other night. from I gotta be honest, dude. In-N-Out's like so fucking overhyped. I like Shake Shack. Okay, can somebody send this fucking recording? Thanks. Where's Kathy? Where the fuck is Kathy, dude? This is ridiculous, man. Actual, like, fucking... It's on purpose. It's on purpose. I'm gonna tell you I have content for you, make you think that I've sent it. And you've no reason to not take me at my word for this, because why would someone lie about sending you something? And then when you announce that you're about to cover it on stream, it's actually just not gonna be there. Because I was expecting you to just, like, fucking telepathically beam the content onto your stream. Send the spicy recording, you dumb cunt. Okay. Really quick, before we go and... Oh, wait, I got it. Oh, you're live. Yeah, I am live. I am. Yeah, when were you expecting to send it? Like, by my next birthday? Yes. Okay, they only have 7 minutes. It's 7 minutes of Parry's time talking in the VC. So we're gonna give this a listen. I have not heard this yet.
Okay. Actually, I wasn't raped, but if I was, I would just get over it.
Parry, what possible? Like, how do you think that's going to play out, particularly under current circumstances? Do you think he's going to get away with that?
Play out? I don't care about how it will play out. I care about I don't want to like engage with people like that.
What a dude. He sounds like a whiny, scared bitch. I don't want to engage with people. I just want to like be a part of the community and like go after people and be like all aggressive when I think I can win. But like when it's time for like someone to actually like talk to me in like a critical manner, like I just don't want to engage. You are a like actual like worthless bitch. Oh my god.
Welcome to the commentary community, my guy.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, fine. And call Cream and a coward.
Like everybody all the time.
It's like retarded. We understand that there is a standard where there's like engaging.
Is he crying? Is he actually crying?
The people do shit and like fucking play with shit that's too far, right?
I understand that there's a standard.
You're not talking about fucking standards and playing with shit that's too far, dude.
Well, I just need to interrupt you. Real quick. When I was on, we're just interrupting this for 2 seconds, just so you understand what we're dealing with here in like its full capacity. Okay. When I was on the, oh, here it is. When my drama was going down, look at how many, not only did he like leak who I liked at that point in time, which totally my fault, by the way. I'm not saying, oh, I'm a victim. Why would I ever give like that's like fucking retarded. So it is my fault, right? But right, and he went and ran with that and leaked it. Look at how many VODs he had up about me. This is more than anyone during that drama, by the way. I gave this guy a second chance. I didn't want to meet him in London. He really wanted to go. I didn't want him, but we had a big confrontation about it. Ultimately, when my drama was happening, I just fucking decided, because everyone wanted him there, I said, for sure, why not? We'll let bygones be bygones. He shows up. He's actually quite, like, pleasant. He explains, like, the shit he did in the past, and in, like, a show of good faith, he, like, explains that he was, like, deleting, like, pictures. Regardless, right? We go for, everything's fine. Then when he gets back, he starts talking about my drama and shit, because he's a bitch. Right? Fair enough. Talk about my drama. Be my guest. But don't come at me this hard just to be such a cowering little fucking bitch when I want to talk to you.
Come on.
Mr. Bone Desk is saying, by the way.
Parry, haven't you leaked a bunch of personal shit on Aiden?
Yes. He told me in confidence while he was drunk that his father wasn't in the picture because his dad, this was when I first met him, by the way. He was a nobody before I met him. Let's just be clear. Diorio likes to lie. They were saying he hung out with a known fucking psychopath or whatever. He was not a known psychopath when I first met him in Malta. He was a shitter that I knew on Discord that started streaming that was totally fine to me up until that point, right? He would ask me to raid him. I would. I was super supportive of it, right? Totally my fault once again. And when we're in Malta, he confides to me while he's drunk as shit that his dad had beaten the whole family and is out of the picture. I think I said something along the lines of, to sort of like, he just told me something immensely personal. I'm somebody that used to believe that if somebody is leaking something that they don't want to get out there, you could probably trust them a little bit with private stuff because they have no vested interest in having their own shit publicized. It's like collateral, right? It's mutually assured destruction. This was actually the one time where I wasn't an idiot. I didn't give him anything. I just said to him, like, yeah, my mom's like been with people in the past that, like, you know, I thought were like dicks, but I've never been through anything like that, man. I'm sorry. He took that and spun it into, I have a stepdad, which I don't have, by the way, that is beating my mom, and I'm standing by and watching. He believed this was immensely personal to me. I don't have a stepdad. He believed this was immensely personal to me. He flipped a coin to decide if he should leak it. This was months after my drama. For the sake of content, he got it completely wrong because he's a fat alcoholic. And then he crumbled in a debate with me where he admits, it was either emotional or physical abuse. I can't remember. He says they were beating my sister as well. I don't have a sister. Says that he was, so he gets it like completely wrong. Looks like a fucking idiot, and he has not spoken to me since. But the point is, when he came out and did that, he thought for the sake of content that he was leaking something immensely personal and embarrassing to me. And it's funny because in our confrontation call before London, as proof that he has a line and that he's not totally unhinged, he said, you know, I haven't leaked the stuff about your family or whatever. I'm like, okay, okay. But then he just goes and he says that, or he doesn't even say, he just lies about it, right? So, fair game, man. So I, in turn, leaked the shit about his dad. I also leak that he's unemployed, kicked out of the house by his mom, living with a sympathetic aunt. And whenever he gets his first paycheck, he doesn't pay her rent, because whenever he does get money, through the Buckingham shit, by making an ass of himself in public, immediately blew it to go back to London and drunkenly beg a bunch of people to hang out with him. Blew it all, and then went back to go mooch off his aunt and be like a fat, lazy fuck. Anyways, this fucking waste of space, let's be honest, this fat pussy, he leaks that shit about me, I leak in turn, and he tries to play victim. He claims I'm doxing him because I leaked that. I'm not even kidding you. After leaking that shit, he did it with a smile on his face because he flipped a coin or whatever. He, with a smile on his face, goes and leaks that shit about me, whatever, right? And then I in turn leak that shit about him, and he still plays victim because he's a bitch. You want to be an unhinged, crazy fucking edgelord that goes after people or whatever? Be my fucking guest. We have plenty of those. But you can't do that and also be a whiny bitch, right? You just look pathetic. You just look completely pathetic. Say what you want about me. When shit gets tough, when combos happen where I know I'm gonna lose, I still fucking show up and take it because I expect the same shit from others.
Yeah, mister, I'll bring my actual IRL friends onto fucking A-Log on stream. Like, come on, Parry.
That's great. Yeah, all right. So just like doxing's good then. Awesome. Amazing. Awesome
When did I ever dox him?
stuff. Great.
No, it's not, and he's not going to do that, dude.
If you say so. I guess if you say it, doesn't have to do with it.
Okay, he's claiming he won't call me because I doxed him. What is the one situation that even the biggest critics have now unilaterally said was not doxing? The one situation where I drunkenly reposted, readily available and already disseminated on numerous occasions by virtue of the people that the PII belongs to themselves, who made no effort to obscure it after it had first been leaked years before I got involved. In that case, the one instance, that was supposedly done. The supposed doxing occurred against someone who was supposedly running from a debate with me. I would never dox anybody. I would never originate someone's personally identifiable information, and I certainly would never go and fucking spread it again, no matter how public it is. If they don't want, even if it's through their own, even if they knew it was up, left it up, and didn't do anything about it, right? And thus, I don't think it would be doxing, right? Even when that happens, I still wouldn't spread it if they didn't clearly, like, want it out that was a mistake on my end that I have apologized for 5 months, right? I have been around for 9 years in this space. I've been around for 9 years. I have never been accused, besides that single incident, I've never been accused of doxing anybody, and I have no reason to dox anybody, because I can win through my arguments. And that's why people like this fat pussy run. There's no reason for me to go self-implode my own fucking reputation to dox somebody. And if the claim is, I'm gonna dox you if you debate me, that's like a non sequitur, isn't it? Because the person you claim I doxed was someone who wouldn't debate me. So that's like so why is it the assumption that not showing up is going to prevent some doxing, right? And second of all, I've known his PII. He's given it to me. He's told me. I've never leaked it. If I had any interest in doxing this guy, why haven't I done it already? Why didn't I do it while I was at my fucking lowest, coming at me with like multiple leaking shit about my that he thought he knew about my fucking family, etc. Why didn't I do it then? Oh, that's right, because I have no interest in doxing him, and this fat pussy is pulling a stupid fucking excuse out of his fat ass to go justify running like a little bitch. So let's keep listening. I'm not doxing this guy. I wouldn't, and I will never. I have the means to do it, and I could have done it. And I'm only saying that because it proves that I have no interest in doxing him. I've had the ability to do it. Why haven't I done it?
Then I just can't feel that way. Great, awesome. What is this? What are we
The
doing?
thing is that no one believes that you actually feel that way, though.
Yeah, nobody. So true, Freddie Woods. This is a certified Freddie Woods W.
Oh.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I can't do anything about that. So.
He'll say so. It's not a threat. No matter what Parry does, Parry could go and fucking dox me tomorrow. I will never dox him. No matter what he does, even if he's a fat pussy, even if he's leaking shit about me, I will never dox him. I will never dox him. I swear on my life. I swear on my family's life. I swear on may I and everyone I love fucking die if I break this vow. I will never dox him. I have no interest in doing it. He knows that.
Instead, you should just meet up with him IRL and do an IRL debate.
Yeah,
and then
right.
if he tries to dox you, you can just...
Thank you for the 2 Bayou. Too many rats want the cheddar on the table. AG4L. So fucking true. Thank you, Bayou, for the tip.
beat him up and kill him.
Well, yeah, that's what I've been saying.
Fly to LA right now and rape him.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Harry, we need an Aiden Hole review, okay? We need you to try.
Gaped and fill the multi scene.
All right, man. Okay.
Soul started, and I'm gonna end it.
See, swing back with that, you fucking coward.
True.
So
Yeah.
apparently, well, I was just scrolling back up. You've been lying as well about propositioning fucking Aiden.
What do you mean I've been lying?
Who's shouting? My name is too many fucking people in here. Who said that?
Crow.
What?
Crow was talking.
Oh, hello, Crow.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
check
Crow.
check general chat.
This person is like so Scandinavian. It's crazy. Check general chat.
Did she say general?
Yellow chat. I don't know what yellow chat is. That's what-
General
Say
chat.
general. General.
She's Swedish. Leave her alone. She can't help it.
Wait, he's not gone fucking back.
Yo, thank you so much, 5. Thank you so much for the 5, Will. You didn't have these issues with Augie, huh? Augie was a personal friend that I happen to be on the streams of. I shouldn't be personal friends with fellow content creators going forward who are like in my general space because it creates a total conflict of interest. Augie is a personal friend to me, and I will, as a result, probably in the future not involve myself in any coverage relating to him, etc. Augie is a great friend to me, or was a great friend to me. I don't really talk to him so much anymore, but he was a personal friend. The people around me, I have called friends, and they kind of are, but like it's business, right? It's business.
Back as he?
Yeah,
He did. He joined. He been rejoined. He
But
joined
he
like 2 minutes
can't-
after he left.
For some reason, the spicy react roll doesn't work.
Good. Doesn't? Oh well. Oh well. Right, you can stay. Fucking,
That's it.
you
That's
can
it.
stay.
Yeah, don't
Is,
tell
is
me.
your problem now, Crow?
Yeah, don't tell me.
No!
Yeah, Parry. Right. So you've been lying about the proposition.
Lying how? I don't what because Aiden says something. I'm not gonna fucking yeah.
Well,
he's lying.
That's what I'm saying. I'm about to fucking review what he said. He said that this could not have ever happened because you're afraid of somebody's touch.
Okay, that was a joke. That was a joke. That was a joke. My specific statement was, let's just pull this up. And people are like, oh, Schrodinger. No, you have to read the statement. My exact statement, and I want to quote it verbatim, was... Let's pull it up. No, he does not have sex. He's backed out of every date he's claimed he was going on last second because he can't be touched without being reminded of the caress of daddy. Now listen, okay? That was a joke, but the point remains. I do not recall Parry ever trying to proposition me for sex, and I think that'd be something I'd remember. So that never happened. But could he have said it and like as an offhand, and then I would have thought the dude was joking? Possibly. I could maybe conceivably see that happening. But if he legitimately ever propositioned me for sex, I would have fucking remembered that. And I probably would have been creeped out knowing that was his intent, because I'm not interested in, I'm just not interested, right? He's very like unattractive, fat, much older than me. Smells like shit. I had to let him borrow my like cologne and shit. I was just hanging out with someone like as a friend. I don't even think he's gay. Um, 541 watching. It's so cool because we had 160 legit viewers, and now it's just getting botted. That's like really fucking awesome. Really coincidental timing. Very coincidental timing, I gotta be honest. Alright, let's continue this.
Then awesome, amazing, awesome stuff. Great.
No, it's not, and he's not going to do that, dude.
Oh, if you say so. I guess if you say it doesn't have to do with it, then I just can't feel that way. Great, awesome. What is this? What are we
The
doing?
thing is that no one believes that you actually feel that way, though.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I can't do anything about that. So
Instead, you should just meet up with him IRL and do an IRL debate.
Yeah,
And then
right.
if
When are you going to apologize for sweeping a doxing server now that it's public they had doxes in there? Okay, so you've literally just fallen for a narrative built on lies constructed by a guy who leaked sexually intimate videos of a woman without her permission, which is fucking disgusting, and he's been unrepentant about it and has lied and burned everyone around him since. That guy, that's the guy whose bullshit you bought into and are now like spouting in my chat. I didn't link myself to this server. They came in with a claim. The claim was that it was a doxing server. They then presented their evidence for this claim in the conversation with Queeman and Chud. I looked at the evidence they presented, and the evidence they presented didn't substantiate the claim that they had made. So I went onto a stream to debate and refute their claim and the evidence that they provided, because it was correct that at that time they had not substantiated at all or provided a single piece of evidence that there was any docs posted in this server, right? That's what I was doing. And with what they had said at that time, with as much evidence that was available, if I could go back, I would have done it again. It turns out that there was like one incident where somebody had linked a tweet that had somebody's PII in it 2 weeks after the server opened, and then like nobody, I guess, caught it or knew about it, and shit went on like normal, right? If this was a doxing server, I feel like there'd be like more examples, right? It wouldn't be like one instance posted like 2 weeks where somebody's linking a tweet, and then it just like fucking it never happens again. Like I just like a weird doxing server. I gotta be honest. It's so easy to wind you up. I'm not wound up. I'm just addressing like. It's just like fucking.
He tries to dox you, you can just beat him up and kill him.
Well, yeah, that's what I've been saying.
Fly to LA right now and rape him.
All right, we already listened to that.
General.
I can't think how. I don't. What? Because Aiden says something. I'm not gonna fucking. Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm about to fucking review what he said. He said that this could not have ever happened because you're afraid of somebody's touch.
Oh, awesome, man.
Or not Aiden, Parry, did you proposition him?
I did, yeah. It was very straightforward. I don't even know why he's denying that.
If he said yes.
He never propositioned me. Don't you think if this guy propositioned me for sex, his claim is he propositioned me for sex, not that I reciprocate or not that I reciprocate or anything. Don't you think if that happened, if this guy propositioned me for sex and I turned it down, I would have leaked that as he covered all of my drama? If I seriously believe this guy had propositioned me for sex, why did that never come out as a point against them? Why did it never come out as a point against them? I mean, you both agreed this happened at the time. Could have been a joke, I guess. What did I agree to at the time? Are you talking about the stream where we're in the room together? Are you talking about that stream? Because as I said before, this guy never actually seriously propositioned me for sex. But the reason I say but is because I could conceivably see a scenario where he's like some shit like, let's have gay sex or something as a joke, and I laugh it off. Right? I could maybe see that happening. But beyond that, no. I would remember if somebody ever actually propositioned me for sex. I don't even think this guy is gay. Parry's been saying that for a long time, though. Like, ever since the Malta stream, he's claimed he propositioned you for sex. Probably is a fucking joke. I never remember this guy seriously propositioning me for sex. I don't even remember him jokingly doing it, but that could have happened. He could have jokingly done it, right? And that's probably why I don't remember it. I don't get propositioned for sex quite often. If I got propositioned for sex, I'd fucking remember it, and I would have used it against him. I'd be like, this embarrassing fat retard is just like mad that I didn't want to fuck him. Okay, can I ask you a question? If somebody propositioned me for sex and I didn't reciprocate, why would I lie that they never propositioned me for sex? What motive do I have in making the claim that I was not seriously propositioned for sex? What's the motive? What's the motive? Thank you so much, Patrick, for the 2. When's Lil J and Chris Graham dropping? I don't know. I didn't even know this guy was gay.
Morale, are you any good at like doing impressions? Can you pretend to be Aiden for us? Parry,
You tell us why you lied. Please, provide some evidence to substantiate your claim, or else admit that you're lying right now.
Morale, roleplay. Thank you.
Wait, you want me to?
Hi, Parry. Hi, Parry.
No, let me explain. I asked this after I leaked the Diorio DM, so he was actually very sad.
I hate you.
No, he was. No, I said Aiden. Do you hate me? Is everything okay, man?
Yeah,
This is so retarded.
everything's okay. I give everyone a second chance.
This is great.
That's great, man. Do you want to have sex?
What the
Um,
fuck?
Wait, that's how you did it. You just straight up, do you want to have sex?
If that's how it happened, the reason I probably don't remember it is because I would have thought that was a joke, and it wouldn't have been memorable to me at all.
You're doomed, mate.
Like, be serious right now. If it happened like that, do you think I would have thought he was being serious?
What was the problem?
This nigga's so autistic.
What did I do? Oh, I'm the bad guy now. I'm the bad guy for being direct. Wow.
Aiden, you just said you'd use it against Parry if he propositioned you because it would be embarrassing. Are you the embarrassing part? Oh, Aiden, are you embarrassed that somebody else allegedly propositioned you for sex? Holy shit. Do you, like, have to wear a helmet because you, like, slam your head against the desk all day? I'm, like, actually, like, curious. No, right? I don't understand what would be embarrassing about somebody else propositioning me for sex. I don't know what would be embarrassing about that.
That's not direct, dude. That's just like, dude, that's like dropping a fucking nuke on it, like a cart hand, like some fucking peasant roaming through the mountains. Like, do you want to have sex? Like,
So, I guess for my first question, can we? Dead. He's gone. He's gone.
He just left.
You stay. Yeah, but you fucking don't.
So I join later. When I do my break, I'll play my part if they have it.
Was that metric?
It's not about you, Aiden. It's
5
about
years
different.
graduate of high school, like 24, dickhead.
I'm 21.
Aiden, what I need to know is, do you feel like between Queeman and Soul Skibbity there was any sexual tension?
Wait,
do you
this
feel
isn't
like
even-
the two of them?
Didn't Quayman admit this guy touched him?
Damn.
What? Whoa!
That was a joke because they like apparently Soul like shoved him or something outside of a bar.
He was like just calling me.
Are you
a
just
pussy
blind?
or saying
Where's the parry? Okay, was that literally the only parry call in? What's happening right now? Is it confirmed that Parry touched Aiden? No. Holy shit, dude. It's just like fucking, it's just like a gross thing to like make up. I didn't know he ever looked at me that way. Unironically, I didn't know that he looked at me like that. I would have been repulsed had I known that, because believe it or not, I have a type, and it's not that. It's not short, fat, like smelly fucking like losers. I gotta be honest with you. I would have been disgusted had I ever thought for a second that this guy was seriously propositioning me for fucking sex. Thank you for the 5 cryptid. Aiden, knowing what we know now, do you feel as if the situation was manipulated or you were coerced into the encounter happening? That would require more unnecessary elaboration that I just don't think is necessitated. I think I've explained. I think I've given enough info where I feel like my statement is out there. It's the whole beginning of stream. Like, to answer like more questions, I would need to like go into more immensely personal details that I just don't care to. I don't care to do that. Anyways, I think the 2 will. Aiden, does it feel good knowing these guys want it? No. No. It's no. Not at all. I gotta be honest, not at all. I don't like being viewed in that way, at all. That's why I'm telling you, if I thought this guy had seriously propositioned me for sex, I would never have spoken to him again. I would have been creeped out. I don't like honestly being viewed that way, and especially by people that I have no attraction to. Anyways, it's just like such a weird thing to anyways. Okay. So that was actually relatively short. I thought that was going to be longer. But he just fucking leaves. He literally just leaves. It's crazy. But yeah, that's like the point is, whenever you see this guy, if you watch this guy, whenever you see him, go get on somebody else, ring a bitch that runs from debates, or he tries to attack anyone. He tries to attack anyone. Let him know what he is doing. Let him know what he's doing. If anyone he challenges to a debate has a unilateral pass to run. You absolutely can run if this guy challenges you to a debate. He should not be granted the people should not be expected to show up and debate him unless he's willing to show up and debate someone else, unironically. So if he's challenging you to a debate right now or anytime in the future, say my fucking name and don't show up until he debates me.
I want to talk about Nicholas DeOrio any longer than is absolutely necessary, so we're going to...
So President Sunday released a video about DeOrio. I like Sunday. Because I have to be honest with you guys. When the London shit was happening or whatever, and everybody was just like busy making fun of me, rightfully so, or going after me, rightfully so, or turning on me, rightfully so, completely deserved. I'm not saying this to victimize myself, right? This guy could have DM'd me and asked me about the draw, etc. He DM'd me, and it just like meant a lot to me. He reached out and he messaged me and he said like, you know, I know this shit can be hard, like keep your head up or whatever. And he was just like, I don't know. I just remembered that. I thought that was a really nice thing to do. And he didn't have to do that. I barely knew him. And I remember that. It was some kindness that was shown to me at a time where I probably needed a little bit. And I think he's a good guy.
Make this short and sweet. It was recently revealed that Nicholas DeOrio deliberately ignored information which exposed that Ethan Klein was targeting snark subreddits with false DMCA strikes in order to silence criticism.
When I found out the updates of the H3H3 snark Reddit, as well as the lawsuits and legal documents and all of that kind of stuff, I reached out to Nicholas DeOrio to let him know about it. As you can see on the screen, this is exactly what I said to Nicholas DeOrio.
I don't know a whole lot about him other than he hates Destiny and he's like a fucking intellectual that reads books and shit. And I gotta be honest, no offense, I can't watch the guy. He puts me to sleep.
Hey, DeOrio.
I would listen to his stuff sometimes to fall asleep, unironically, because it was just like, his voice is so boring. Just for me personally, his voice is just so boring.
Ethan Klein has been abusing the copyright system despite his history of fighting for fair use. And so this is the post that we just read that lays out the exact durations of the clips and what was struck and when. If he's striking down posts that are here, watch this mirror, and don't give Ethan views, then that's based on best practices, says Nick. No, he's not. I'd say that would be fair also, but that's not what he's doing. We're talking clips that are 20 seconds or 1 minute, not exactly intended to rip off a 3-hour plus podcast. Clear as day, Paige Christie tells him this in January of 2025. And he sits there, he knows about it, and he sweeps the whole fucking time, regardless. For someone he knows is a DMCA abuser. He has been handed the information on a silver platter, straight to his DMs, engaged with it, at the Reddit post right there. He knows. DeOrio swept for DMCA abuse.
Just very quickly, for those of you who are living under a rock, Ethan Klein is a massive YouTuber and lead host of the 2.5 million sub-channel H3 podcast, who has recently generated a reputation for abusing the DMCA system and even engaging in vexatious litigation to silence other streamers on Twitch and YouTube who criticize him, and he also sometimes looks like Uncle Fester from the Addams Family, and who apparently has dog poop on the floor of his studio. But this video isn't about Klein, it's about Nick. So, Ethan was abusing the copyright system and using legal...
That's what I remember. I saw a Sunday Destiny debate once. I don't remember on what. And I thought I was gonna have to, I think I did call in and debate Sunday about something once a long time ago. And I was like, how does this guy lose? Because I like to typically, if I know I'm gonna debate someone, I like to watch their other debates to figure out what fronts they lose on. And Sunday's not good at the humor game. I gotta be honest. He's a smart guy. He's a smart guy. When it comes to like the banter and shit talking aspect and the humor aspect, which has to do with him, he can't compete. And that's like his biggest. He's just not like a funny guy. He's a smart guy. He's just not very funny.
Sure to suppress critics, something Nick used to strongly oppose.
He was always one of the most outspoken creators about things like targeting sponsors.
Attacking YouTube
Hey, who's that guy?
sponsors is generally like a
people talk their shit. I was there. I was calling 2022. 2020. Oh wait, I was calling it a Cheeto, not H3.
negative thing to do.
Or abusing copyright.
YouTubers who abuse built-in support systems to silence creators who are critical of them are the worst of the worst.
In defending free speech.
No fucking problem with anybody being a leftist, as long as you don't try to infringe upon my free speech.
Nick has always branded himself as pro-free speech. He criticized abusive copyright strikes in the past, so people naturally asked, why is he defending Ethan now? Most people assumed that the answer was simple. Nick wanted money and access, and Ethan can grant both. Ethan benefits Nick financially and socially, so Nick protects him no matter what. But there's another reason. Nick's alliance with Ethan also helps bury criticism of Nick himself, specifically criticism over how he handled allegations involving political streamer Destiny, aka Stephen Bennell II, over leaking private sexual material without consent to a minor. Back in early 2025, I leaked a phone call that I had with Nick about the Destiny situation. Publicly, Nick acted hesitant, claiming there wasn't enough information to speak confidently about the accusations against Destiny, sharing intimate videos and photos with a stranger over the internet without the consent of the people featured in them. On a group stream with several other fairly large content creators, including Turkey Tom, Augie, and Chudlogic, Nick also suggested that accusations that appear to have been levied by Destiny's ex-wife Melina might actually have been referring to different leaks entirely.
Oh, anyone saying stuff like that, that's like actual revenge porn. So no, thank you. It's
I wasn't locked into this Destiny shit at the time. I just wasn't. I still liked Nick. And I thought I viewed people like Sunday as correct. I knew Destiny. I was not on Destiny's side since these leaks happened. Nobody was. I remember it very specifically. I knew what was about to come out about 2 weeks, I think, before it did. I could be getting the time a little wrong. I'm bad at like estimating time, but if I had to guess, it was like 2 weeks. I was told what was about to come out. I wasn't particularly interested in Destiny, but I knew from the beginning it was over for him. It was really bad for him. But as it happened, I viewed these like spicy chat types and these like Sunday types as like just like locked in obsessive A-loggers who expected everybody to be as locked in and obsessively like up to date on this shit as they were or whatever. And I was wrong. I understand now how important this is. I understand that Stephen Bennell II is a maniac and a threat to the site. I understand that you should be obsessed with this because it is absolutely insane what this guy is continuously doing and getting away with. And people should absolutely have their coverage up to date. This is one of the most important dramas, I think, of ever, as far as I can remember, in terms of proximity to us, just how like legitimately fucked this guy is. I completely
not anything like
I was wrong. I was just wrong. All the A-logs are completely vindicated. This guy's fucking nuts.
that. So thank you. That's something else that happened. Yeah, that was really horrible. Actually, really horrible. I take that very seriously. So anyone commenting about that stuff, because it's an actual traumatic experience, they're gonna get instantly banned and never unbanned.
He claimed to have investigated the matter himself and to have therefore determined that actually, when Melina said that what had transpired was absolutely without consent, that she was actually referring to another creator called Leafy, who had leaked images from her OnlyFans account years before.
So the problem that I have with that one video with the Melina stuff is I went back because I didn't trust a random Reddit post with a 30-second clip that was clipped from multiple live streams. So I went back and I downloaded the full context to every single clip that was used. So like the people are pointing to one clip where she goes, "That's not consensual, and we're not going to talk about that. I'm going to ban you." In context with all the other stuff, it sounded like to me for that one specific clip, she was referring to the stuff from the Leafy thing where people had revenge porn of her or whatever, or like content that wasn't actually her and it was being shared.
Keep in mind, I've forgotten a lot about what Nick said during the stream. I might have been on this. I think I was on this stream. I think this was the first time I ever spoke to Chud. I was on this stream, like later on or something, if I remember correctly. I could be off. I forgot about exactly what he said. I'm entering now with a greater understanding of what's occurred and not a bias against the A-logs and in favor of Nick. But simultaneously, I actually have a bias in favor of the A-logs and against Nick now, and I'm going to try to be fair with my assessment of this, because I do think that people have, like, because Nick is rightfully such a controversial person, I do think there's a tendency to just run with anything. This doesn't go for, like, the streamer. I've seen this more just from chatters. The streamer, people like Quayman have been spot on when it comes to criticism of Nick. But like there was one where it was like people were going at him for I forgot. He claimed that the Tom accuser was like trying to dox his girlfriend, and he'd posted a screenshot, and like everybody immediately was like, "That doesn't say what you said it says," or whatever. Which is true, it didn't. But I suspected that that's not. He wasn't claiming, or I had suspected that he had something else. So I called him up, and he did. He had a screenshot that showed this person was working with dogs to figure out who his girlfriend was. So I didn't immediately go and like run with that shit. I'm going to try to be fair and balanced here.
Oh, anyone saying stuff like that, that's like actual revenge porn. So no, thank you. It's not anything like that. So thank you. That's something.
This is a recent clip of her talking about whatever's going on.
This is 9 days ago. But this is either her talking about Destiny's leaks, or this is her talking about her own revenge porn. Yeah. Well, because the revenge porn from the Leafy stuff. It's not like I don't know which one she's talking about.
This, however, was a lie, because in private, Nick admitted that the situation looked bad, and even acknowledged why people thought he was sweeping it under the rug.
Well, in the back of my head, I was thinking, why would all these people consent to their fucking nudes being exchanged?
Well, the answer
Why would that even happen? They would absolutely not. They absolutely wouldn't. And it's like, I haven't really been able to talk about this with anybody because I'm like a fucking. It's a huge risk to even discuss it. Because this guy's got such a chokehold over his community. I totally understand people like sweeping up for it, but I like have actual shit to feel.
When he said this, listen, I'm just being completely fair. When he said this, did he acknowledge that Melina specifically had her nudes leaked? Because that would be pretty bad. That'd be like a direct contradiction how he's acting on stream. When he says all these people, well, I guess who else would he be thinking of at that point besides Pixie and Melina? Those are the only two that I was told about. Or I don't remember if I got told about Cherry, and I think Cherry, if I remember correctly, Cherry was an audio recording, right? Not an actual, not saying that that's good or okay, but that was an audio recording, right? Not like an actual intimate video, if I remember correctly. I could be off on that one. So I'm not going to state that definitively. More of a question.
From this call, it can be determined that Nick was taking deliberate steps to stay quiet on the story about Destiny's violating the consent of women in his cohort, while passing information along to Turkey Tom as he was getting it from Chud Logic. Ask you if the sources you have for this were multiple or singular. Was it one person? Singular.
Yeah, I can't remember. My source for this was the same source as Nick's. Admittedly, I was just not as interested. So I'm obviously significant moments or moments that evoke great interest are moments that are going to lead to, you remember them very well. I was just not interested in this all that much. So I cannot remember if I got told about Cherry or not. I think that came after. I just knew about Melina and Pixie. So when he says girls, plural, knowing that my source was the same source as his, which I think is public, I got told by Chud, that could be enough where you could think, yeah, he probably knew that Melina's nudes were leaked by Destiny.
This is all right. So this is totally my fucking mistake. I'm explaining this, and I accidentally blurred out that my source was Chud Logic. And I've been passing everything I know to Tom because I need Tom to be aware of this stuff.
The call revealed something else important. Nick wasn't staying quiet because the facts were unclear. He was staying quiet because he didn't want conflict with Destiny.
It's so weird. Why the fuck would this guy, like, from the perspective of a pervert consent violator, you understand, like, he recorded these and distributed them because he probably like got off on it. There's some debate, which some people who are claiming that know more than I do, so I'm not going to contest them on it, that it wasn't just for the sake of arousal. It was like possibly out of revenge. I'm not sure about that one. What I can say definitively is that it looked like this guy leaked these images to become aroused or whatever. The audio specifically, my question, like, was that? Am I being botted? Yeah, and it sucks because we had 160 before I started getting fucking botted.
And with,
I'm gonna do a poll real quick. This is so fucking annoying, man. Holy shit. Are you real? Please vote in the poll, guys. It just helps me gauge how many people are actually watching. You just have to click one button. It's a poll in chat. Just click it if you're here, just so I know how many people are watching. Be a big help if you did that. Thank you so much for the 5. Just your nightmare. Aiden, you haven't been the same since your mission to Africa. Get yourself some pizza, please. Am I like that skinny?
Destiny's audience. By the way, when other people brought up that Destiny's audience would intimidate people from speaking out about Destiny's abuse, Nick downplayed it, laughing it off as ridiculous.
DGG is only like lethal if you're like a total retard. Chud, they all started hitting you and you kneeled. You went right through them. Dude. Like, you right through them. Like, look what happened with Chud Logic and Lauren Southern. He had Melina coming to him and telling him these things directly, and he was put in a position where he could either eat shit and be hated by that community and lose a huge percentage of his audience to the point where I had to pick up the other half of the slack and like help him out to keep him afloat. You only get stun locked if you're totally retarded. If you're totally retarded, shouldn't be online, can't engage with any sort of like public audience at all. Whatsoever. It's a huge risk to even discuss it. This guy's got such a chokehold over his community.
Even though, as we've just seen, it was his fear of Destiny's audience that Nick claimed was the reason for his own silence, meaning that Nick wasn't only sweeping for Destiny and misleading viewers about the testimony of an abuse victim, Destiny's ex-wife Melina, he was also actively working to obscure the social defense mechanisms that kept others—
Sorry, I gotta just lock in here real quick.
Online, can't engage with any sort of like public audience outlet, and he was put in a position where he can either eat shit and be hated by that community and lose a huge percentage of his audience, to the point where I had to pick up the other half of the slack and like help him out to keep him afloat. You only get stun locked if you're totally retarded. If you're totally retarded, shouldn't be online, can't engage with any sort of like public audience at all. Whatsoever. It's a huge risk to even discuss it. This guy's got such a chokehold over his community.
Even though, as we've just seen, it was his fear of Destiny's audience that Nick claimed was the reason for his own silence, meaning that Nick wasn't only sweeping for Destiny and misleading viewers about the testimony of an abuse victim, Destiny's ex-wife Melina, he was also actively working to obscure the social defense mechanisms that kept other streamers and audience members from speaking out themselves about Destiny's immoral behavior. Nick repeatedly argued that Pixie, one of the main people affected, would need to publicly come forward before he could really cover the story, but that standard effectively required the victim to risk further humiliation and retaliation before Nick would speak up, the same retaliation that Nick was afraid of for himself.
Because if you don't handle them tactically, you're leaving yourself open for like a massive thing. And Destiny is not somebody who you can just swing at. That is the worst possible person to go and like, unless you have everything I's dotted, T's crossed, there's no way to go after. But like the issue I have with this is there's no story unless that person is involved. If that person's not involved and it becomes their word against any other person's word, then that's a loss 100 times out of 100, and it's like a career ruining loss. I think it's a career ruining loss. I think that when you if when you pick a fight with Destiny and you don't have the person involved, I don't think you can make that.
What specifically would have to happen to trigger some kind of determinate position on this in public for you?
I mean, I'll be super candid about it. Pixie would need to talk.
And even that excuse falls apart because the leaks themselves were already public knowledge.
Every drama YouTuber, not every drama, but most drama YouTubers know about this.
Large streamers had already reacted to them and commented on them on social media. These were already a part of broad discussion online. In fact,
did we know? Okay, listen, I totally believe that Dior absolutely obfuscated on that stream because he was scared of Destiny. Sunday got me on that argument, okay? I agree with him. But this part, I don't know if I...
And even that excuse falls apart because the leaks themselves were already public knowledge.
Every drama YouTuber, not every...
Leaks themselves were public knowledge. Yes, that's true. Did we know at that... Well, he knew, obviously. Did we have some evidence that these were shared non-consensually? We knew that a hacker had leaked them, right? And everyone was seeing these videos. But was it known that Destiny himself had leaked these non-consensually in the public eye? I'm not sure if it was. Even if the leaks were out there, right? Unless we had something to suggest, which we might have. I don't remember. The Melina video was the evidence. Yeah, for Melina, for sure. In regards to Pixie, I can, before you go at Destiny over the Pixie shit, I can understand wanting Pixie to confirm that these were in fact non-consensual leaks before you said something in that regard specifically. What I would have done if I was talking about this on stream, knowing what I know, I'd say Melina has made statements that seem to indicate that this guy was leaking nudes non-consensually, and with the recent leaks, I've heard some stuff that would suggest that some of the recent leaks are non-consensual as well. If that's true, which it seems like it is, that's disgusting, right? And then you just say that, and then wait for a further statement, right? You can even put, it seems like, so you're not taking a definitive stance. You're just speaking off of what you presently know in that moment. That's what I would have done.
But most drama YouTubers know about this.
Large streamers had already reacted to them and commented on them on social media. These were already a part of broad discussion online. In fact, Nick himself was already discussing it in the context of talking about Destiny's wife Melina, but he used the opportunity to curry favor with BGG by providing cover, by lying that as a result of his own personal investigations, Melina was in fact referring to her consent being violated by someone else. A naked case, by the way, of silencing the victim of someone who he was benefiting from.
In regards to Tom specifically, that's where I think you have bigger criticisms against. More criticisms against. Hold on. Fuck. Dono scam. My bad. Sorry, I missed it. Yo, thank you so much, Sister Godai, for the 100. Is that Kroner? Thank you so much for the 100. Aiden, enjoy it. Once you turn 25, you'll get big enough for Pyrocynical to be interested in you, unless you're already active. Well, I knew Pyro. I knew Pyro when I was 14, right? I met him in real life. Not like he came to meet me personally. I was at VidCon when I was like 14. He recognized me, came up, hugged me, and I guess I didn't realize he knew me that well. And I hung out with him and his friends on the trip. I was not groomed. There was no inappropriate behavior at that time. Is it a little weird to hang out with a 14-year-old? Yeah, probably.
In Nick's response to me, he tries to claim that to discuss this issue publicly without Pixie's active involvement would be to
Yes, the famous photo of him kissing Hyojin. I'm in the background, but I'm blurred.
Wrong by her in some way.
Why are all these messages blurred out from Pixie? I mean, we're leaking the fact that her fucking naked body is getting fucked by Destiny online, but thank God we didn't show her suicidal DM.
This is rather interesting because Nick had advance notice that my video was coming out, and yet the supposed concern for Pixie's dignity didn't prevent him from teasing the release of my video on X the night before. Once again, the concern wasn't for the victims, Nicholas just needed a fall guy to cover up for his own complicity. Nick already had access to the most clear-cut evidence of the abuse of consent, handed to him on a silver platter.
On a silver platter?
In the form of Destiny's wife making similar accusations. And not only did he refuse to say anything about that, he actively went out of his way to misdirect viewers into thinking that Melina was talking about somebody else, Leafy. So rather than being concerned about Pixie's well-being and consent, Nick actually used Pixie as an alibi to excuse his own reluctance to speak out against any abuse by Destiny, against his wife and against other women in his...
Yeah, people were being really gross to Pixie when this was happening. Myself included, albeit when I was doing it to troll Spicy. I was pretending to be a Destiny fan. I wasn't actually litigating my real positions. QQ and Rita and everyone caught on to the fact that I was trolling pretty quickly because I joined Spicy around the time or not long after or before this happened. And the whole point of me being in that chat was to just troll these people initially. So I'd like say shit like, we've all done what Destiny's done. Like, I just typed shit that I knew was going to make them mad because I found that shit funny back then. Back then, it was like a year ago. But I didn't realize she saw it because she blocked me on Twitter. So I apologized to her. But I don't... That wasn't my actual take. I was fucking trolling in a chat. So, obviously, I think it's a little worse when people's, like, actual comments to their on-stream audience were just, like, being weird as fuck.
Community, because Nick was benefiting from his positive relationship with the person who violated Pixie's consent, and he didn't want the party to end. Nick had profited majorly from his positive connection with Destiny, and his audience exploded.
Because without the excuses, well, it's a relevant detail that I was trolling, right? Because then you would believe that I was actually... Yeah, if I didn't add that, you would think there was a time where I was unironically defending Destiny for leaking a woman's nudes without her consent. I would never defend someone who did that in an unironic context. So yeah, that's like a super relevant detail.
His friendship. And that's what made me dangerous to Nick, that I levied this criticism. Because
and I'm sorry that she saw it, and I don't even think what I did exceeded, like, we troll like that all the time on Discord. I'm sorry that she was there to see it. Because that would obviously hurt her.
I destroyed Nick's escape hatch, and this is why he reached out to me initially, to throw everybody else who was also covering for Destiny under the bus so that he could get out first. And it's also why, once I leaked my call with Nick, he had to shift into damage control. After my video expose on Destiny, Nick spent hours defending himself before seriously addressing the allegations against Steven. He did not actually meaningfully address the allegations at all, as a matter of fact. Much of his coverage rather focused on discrediting me rather than condemning the abuse itself.
Yes, it is so insane to hear takes that I said to rage bait Unks and Spicy be reiterated a year later unironically by fucking Stardust. The whole, I literally said, like, why haven't we all done what Destiny's done, guys? Which you know is a joke, because I was a fucking virgin. But, like, it's like, haven't we all done what Destiny's done, guys, or whatever? She's unironically, a year later, as a serious, like, defense, saying that 50% of men have done what this guy's done, which is just not true.
4 hours, approximately half of which actually involved talking about Destiny.
Are you sorry, or just that she saw it? I'm sorry that she saw it. I'm not sorry for the act. I don't know why I would be. I'd have to tell you I'm legitimately sorry for rage baiting people online. I'm not sorry for that, right? It's like if I'm making Holocaust jokes, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But if a Holocaust survivor happens to overhear it, obviously that would immensely affect them. I wouldn't feel bad for I wouldn't think I did anything wrong by making the jokes, because I don't believe jokes are, edgy jokes are wrong, right? But I'd feel bad that that person heard it and would say sorry that they had to hear that, right?
Consent of violating allegation. The rest was doing damage control against the allegations that he himself was sweeping for Destiny the entire time, which he was. And a huge amount of this defense simply involved trying to discredit me, because even after the victim had come forward, which was what Nick said he needed in order to cover Destiny's abuse allegations, criticizing Destiny wasn't actually a priority for him at all. All of this was just business, and he would have continued to sweep for Destiny forever, except that the situation was starting to get too hot for his comfort, and he was involved. He had protected Destiny, and now he needed an escape. Here is his summary of my video expose of Destiny called Exposing the Destiny Abuse Machine.
So that's the President Sunday video. Okay, so President Sunday is mad that nobody's released the stuff that he also didn't release, like where he had significantly more information than almost every other party involved for an extended period of time.
For the record, I'm not mad that this supposedly secret extra info that apparently I had tons more of than Nick wasn't being talked about by other people, because I didn't have any secret info. Just the same leaked material that everyone else did already. The one thing that I had that Nick did not was a lack of a financial and psychological dependency on being accepted by the community of a sex abuser. Nick's priority wasn't protecting victims, it was protecting his own image after he had gone out of his way to silence the victims and to avoid backlash from Destiny's fanbase.
Aiden had hella alts. You just had to be there, man. You just had to be there. It was so fun. Dude, I miss when I used to have fun like that. I'm too old for it now. It's only been a year. Dude, I feel like I've aged, like, unironically, I feel like I've aged 5 years in, like, the last, like, year and a half, unironically. You just had to be there back then, man. It was so, I used to have fun.
Eventually had to turn
before this shit got serious.
them because the situation was simply getting out of control. One of the worst clips I think I've ever seen of Nick comes from this stream here.
All my friends agree with me. This is going fantastic. Go look on Twitter, dude. Go look at fucking Pixie. She hates you. They all hate you. They all hate Destiny. Oh, no. I'm the only one who looks good.
From the get-go, Nick's priority was the image that fans of a sex abuser would have of him personally. The prospect of being viewed negatively by DGG, the colloquial name for Destiny's audience, terrified Nick. Why? Because Nick's audience had inflated massively because of his positive relationship with Destiny. This meant that he was economically dependent to a very large extent on Destiny's audience having a...
Yo, thanks for the 20 kroner. Sister Godiva, do you like cilantro? Nope. I'm one of the people that has that, like, mutation or whatever, where I process some enzyme and cilantro in, like, a different way, so it tastes, like, unironically like soap to me. And I thought, when I was a kid, I thought that's how it was supposed to taste, and I asked, like, I was so, like, baffled why anyone would want to eat cilantro. It tasted disgusting, like fucking dish soap. It, like, ruined, like, they would put it on food, and it would like, literally ruin the food for me, because I just taste like I was eating soap.
Particular view of him personally, and he would do anything and sweep for anything to protect that bag. And so when Nick begins to actually cover the allegations against Destiny, he still can't stop but focusing on me, framing Pixie's Substack announcement as something she was pushed into posting because of me personally.
I'm terrified. Evidence log. So I'm going to show all these messages after the fact, but this is Pixie's Substack. She posted this today after she was pushed to go forward with her story by President Sunday. That was, I mean, that's objectively what happened here.
Despite the fact that I had no secret information, I published literally nothing except what was already in circulation between other people, because a lot of people already knew that Pixie was a victim, but a lot of people in Destiny's circle had up till this point been convinced that it was in their interest to stay quiet about it, and because a lot of people were...
I had criticisms for Sunday at the time. I'd have to relook at it to stand by those. But at the point that I heard it, which was prior to the Sunday, this was coming out. This was coming out. It was a matter of when, because enough people. If I knew about it, you knew it was gonna come out. Because why the fuck would I barely knew, like, why would someone tell me that? It was just like do I think that maybe it should have been done, unless I'm missing something with the more cooperation from Pixie? Yeah. It's her story to tell, right? But, you know, I don't think he did anything that wasn't gonna happen anyways, I gotta be honest.
Benefiting from Destiny being their friend, or thought they could benefit in...
He didn't have to accuse Pixie of a felony in the video, did he? Oh, you're fucking right. You're right. You guys gotta, like, be patient with me here. It was like a year ago. I wasn't invested back then, so I don't remember, like, super well. You're gonna have to catch me up to speed on certain things. If I'm not sure, I'm not gonna say it definitively. You'll hear some uncertainty in the way I word it. But you're right. Was it extortion, if I remember correctly? Yeah, that was not, yeah, that was fucked. Yeah, no, I agree. What she did was an extortion.
Future from Destiny being their friend. They were willing to stay silent about a man who was actively abusing women in his community and exposing them to...
And I tuned into a Peter Pizza stream where he's being instructed how to get high off of canned air. One of the voices sounded like you potentially using a voice changer. Was it you? No. But what I want you to do is, I'm assuming you're probably somewhere in your early 20s, late teens. Sometimes people can start hearing things like this. And it's not a problem, like, you're not crazy for it, you're somebody that needs help. So I would reach out and look for, like, local resources near you to, like, see a psychologist, and potentially, or a psychiatrist for that matter, and potentially get on, like, some antipsychotics. But no, I would never fucking encourage, a vulnerable, like, adult to go fucking inhale canned air. It unironically makes me super sad to watch a, like, vulnerable guy who I used to know, who just always wanted to be accepted, be taken in by the worst people on earth who don't have his best interests in mind and are encouraging and contributing to his destruction of his own life. It's just such a sad situation. And I would never encourage or get involved in furthering that. I think it's, I unironically believe this guy needs to be under conservatorship and get some help.
The wide public ridicule.
If she takes the money, we'll hear about it in 2 years. If she doesn't take the money, we'll hear about it in a month.
From watching Nick's coverage, you get the impression that I revealed something which wasn't previously known and which exposed Pixie in a new way after my video was out, when the reality is, Nick just needed to find a way to spin himself out of a story that he was helping to cover up. And at the risk of sounding like a broken record, it needs to be stressed again that Nick never needed to even talk about Pixie if Pixie's consent was his real concern, because Pixie was, as we've seen, far from Destiny's only victim. There was also Destiny's ex-wife Melina, whose testimony against Destiny Nick seemed almost instinctively to misrepresent, because it was more beneficial for Nick to have Destiny as his friend than to come forward in defense of women Destiny was abusing. However, since the cat was out of the bag when I called out Nick On this, Nick came to me, which is where all of this embarrassing leaked audio of Nick comes from, because at this point, it was just a matter of whether or not he was going to go down with the ship. And so Nick used my expose as a way to seize control of the narrative in a way which would cover up his own complicity, hopefully speculating on his stream that once somebody competent, quote unquote, came along and covered the story, everybody would forget about me.
It's gonna, you know what happens?
Your stream finally got recommended to me again? Yeah, we were at 160 before I got botted. We're doing 200 viewers. Which is like super cool. I think it's unironically legit. I actually think like the 200 is legit because we're at 160 before the bots came in. And now like I see a bunch of faces in chat that are just never here. So I appreciate everyone for showing up.
President Sunday. I'll tell you what President Sunday's future is. I have a crystal ball in front of me. I can see what it is. The future for President Sunday is that the minute that a capable person comes in and just regurgitates all the talking points or provides just a little bit of input, that video is gonna be the one that gets pushed. Like Willie Mack incoming. I mean, yeah, I think this is prime Willie Mack material.
Which, to be fair, was my desire also, which is why I tried to get Nick to come forward with
Prime Willie Mack material. If you want a job done wrong, call Silly Crack Ho, okay? He will make sure to fuck it up somehow.
the story instead of little old me with my tiny audience of roughly 20,000 subscribers. Destiny has a massive audience, and ignoring—
Dude, it's like when it's entrusting Willie Mack to cover this correctly. It's like when Trump appointed like the former like head of ExxonMobil to like lead like the Environmental Protection Agency.
My tiny channel would be all too easy. It's also just not an audience I wanted to cultivate. I like to do political science content. Unfortunately, I also have a big problem with people abusing women. Nick would also get other friends of Destiny like Willie Mack to help reinforce this narrative by drawing attention to me instead of to their own complicity and covering up Destiny's behavior.
Then there's the aspect of how these stories broke, coming from two YouTubers, President Sunday and Beckett, who never reached out to the victim, were never given permission to share any of this, yet they did it anyway, confirming it's her and the leaks to the general public, framing her as a suicide baiter for saying she'd kill herself if her parents found out.
Pixie did the worst thing that someone in her position could do.
Not give me content for my YouTube channel.
And so seemingly, that was that. I, and therefore Nick's history.
You know what it is? I don't want to say it, man. Do you want to know why viewership is good right now? This time slot is just available because Chud is not on YouTube anymore. I doubt everyone went over to Keck to watch. I'm serious. And I think that that's probably why we're doing well right now. I gotta be honest. Like, who here would normally be watching Chud at this time when he was on YouTube? I don't know why he fucking moved to Kick, man. I mean, I guess I sort of understand it. I think I said this in my chat, and I'll say it here. I think that Chud is one of the most talented streamers I've known, in the sense like his raw ability to be funny and perform. He's a great entertainer. Better than myself, and I respect him in that regard, right? I gotta be honest with you, I've been a little bit disappointed to watch the folding occur in the face of like what I think is one of the most important dramas, and one of the most important dramas of the fucking like year. There's just so much happening right now. Everyone wants to see it. People I knew who didn't give a fuck about EHD are now tapped into this. I'm tapped into this, and I didn't give a fuck about EHD. He's not covering it because he's fucking scared.
Of sweeping for Destiny were written out of the story, and Nick seemingly was safe. All he had to do now is to make sure that nobody ever called him a sweeper ever again. Which brings us back to Ethan Klein. Nick's partnership with Ethan Klein after his breakup publicly with Destiny became mutually beneficial because both men shared an interest in silencing critics. Ethan used copyright strikes, platform influence, and legal intimidation to target
These people showed their teeth, threatened him a bit, and it's like, and he's out. But he's doing this under the false assumption that he's no longer in the line of fire so long as he steps back. And the truth of the matter is, at this point, he will always be in their line of fire, right? And I understand that Chud, people have said it, and I even said this myself, he has a lot to lose. He's got, he has kids, he has a lot to lose, right? And this is like a fucking scary mass to take on. They're willing to dox people, they're willing to smear people, etc. Destiny was threatening to go relitigate Chud's old allegations, right? And it is like a little bit scary on its face, but the truth of the matter is, like, we all have stuff to lose. We all have things to lose. I got accepted into my dream school. I'm still in college, right? I have that to lose. I have a family, believe it or not, right? Albeit obviously I don't have kids or anything. We all risk something by speaking out against this, but it's important to say. I don't think I'm doing anything by speaking out against this because I'm a fucking nobody. But enough nobodies speaking out against this becomes something meaningful. And I think that everybody needs to be doing their part right now.
H3 snark, and by defending Ethan Klein, Ethan's critics became Nick's critics, and vice versa, which meant that just as Nick was helping Ethan Klein to cover up and silence his own critics, he was also covering up Nick's.
I actually saw this today, and my jaw hit the floor because I found myself watching the moderators defend me while I'm banned from the subreddit from like psychotic H3 snarkers. Like, dude, Willie Mac Show's video gets posted. This isn't even on the docket. His video gets posted. We're gonna watch it later tonight, and then immediately it's the.
You were born a DGG test tube. I was, and somebody said it. The best people to talk about Destiny are people who used to watch, right? Because you understand how he operates. You have a better. This is why Queeman is the best critic of Destiny that I think I know of, right? This is why Queeman is so effective. Because Queeman used to be a fan of this guy. Bigger than myself. I've never been in DGG chat. I was watching when I was a teenager, but mostly his like mainstream popular debates. But it is the people that used to be fans that fully see this guy for what he is. You begin to recontextualize everything that happened, how he operates, etc. And his former fans are his best critics.
Piker community narrative. Did him and the other commentary slop YouTubers all hide the Predator allegations from Destiny? It's like, oh, who's this guy? Oh, wow. Active in these communities. Leftovers, H3. Shocker. Dude, you can click anytime you see like fuck it Diorio posts on these subreddits. Just click their account every single time, dude. Diorio knew for months. He's on record saying he didn't talk about it because his community would turn on him since it's all Destiny fans. This is like the most fabricated sentence I've ever heard in my entire life. I totally understand why people are like sweeping up for it, but I like have actual shit to fear about this. You have to literally go out of your way to make that up. And you go like, oh wow, all of their 1 hour, within 1 hour of writing this, which I think this was an hour old, within minutes of writing.
This guy's scamming donuts. Can you believe it? Sorry, I missed your donut. That's my bad. That's my bad. Judd covering your Jake Weddle interview was the funniest shit I ever heard. It was. It unironically was. Thank you so much, Sister Godiva, for the 50 kroner. I just made and ate a quesadilla with cottage cheese, pickled jalapeno, cheese, silver onion, and spices. If I skip the cilantro, would you eat it? Nope. I don't like onions. I'm weird. I'm really fucking weird. I don't like onions. Thank you so much, Glenn, with the 20. Glad to see your comeback. Stick to your principles. Yeah, I really appreciate it. I deserved my fall off. I totally deserved my fall off. And I've learned a lot of lessons from it, and I appreciate that people are willing to, you know, maybe give me another chance here.
Yes, they were posting something on r/H3 Snark. It's crazy.
By the same token, through connecting with Ethan Klein, Nick was able to re-network with all of those people, all of those
I know, like, I think there's something wrong with me.
That had been broken up.
I'm picky, but I'm not. I'm willing to eat shit like alligator and frog, and I love like authentic like Cantonese food and shit. But for whatever reason, there's like popular foods that I just don't like. I can eat onions if I don't know they're in there, right? When it's just like the straight up onion, I don't fucking like it.
As a result of Destiny's abusive behaviors being exposed through Ethan Klein, Nick continued to positively interact with every single person who was connected.
Oh no, I love spies. I fucking love spies. I like Thai food and shit. I love spies.
Through Destiny originally, but laundered. And so it was the best of both worlds, because the same people criticizing Ethan Klein's behavior were also criticizing Nick for helping to cover up Destiny's misconduct. By being friends with Ethan Klein would help cover up for Nick.
Go type in on H3 Snark and go read what they wrote about Diorio and tell me how much I should feel bad for them that these little fucking rat fucks had to sit and cry and get scared for the night where they thought the big mean Ethan Klein lawsuit was gonna be in the mail the next day.
And this is why Nick suddenly stopped caring about abusive copyright strikes and free speech principles, because he never cared about them. This was all just a marketing ploy. He only cared about free speech so long as it was convenient for him. He only cares about women being heard and their consent respected when it's convenient for him. And if it's not, he'll follow an abuser like LeFou carrying a shovel to help bury the evidence. And I can't help but wonder, these are just the cases that we know about. When else has he covered up another streamer's crimes? When else has he covered for or been silent on some horrible act of abuse that he knew about but it wasn't in his interest to expose? Food for thought. As always, thank you for listening and take care.
Good video, Sunday. Good video. I think you proved a lot of he proved a lot of his points. I think he proved that Diorio refrained and obfuscated coverage related to this because he was scared. Good video. Kylo's segment, or Kilo's segment was still better. I gotta be honest. Listen, I like you, Sunday, but Kilo Moggs, and I'm only saying that because he snarked Kilo, and they hate each other, apparently. Are they cool again? Sunday, I like both of them. Sunday and Kilo hate each other. Kilo, like, used to be his editor or something. I don't know. It was a good video. That was a good video. Good shit, man. Good shit. Hold on. So, in other news, somebody just asked about this, that I was supposed to debate Whick yesterday. So what had happened was when the debate was originally planned for Monday. I found out after I got out of class that they just arbitrarily decided we were going to debate an hour and a half, and I was being accused of running. So knowing I hadn't slept and had not prepared, I didn't want to let this Weasley fuck have an opportunity to lie to me where I wouldn't be able to catch him because I hadn't prepped. So I said I'd only do the debate if Destiny was willing to do a second debate. We did the first, and I felt like everything that got said needed to be said, and then they never followed up with me about that second debate happening, and I haven't demanded it. So I don't know if they ask me to debate, I will absolutely show up. I show up when I'm challenged. But it didn't sound like he was this was his response to the second debate. Oh, he said, or I didn't see he said we could take a few days. Never mind. Sure, we could take a few days, but tell me what exactly he wants to talk about or what exactly he's prepping for. Well, what I wanted to talk about was that server. And we did talk about that server, and where I slacked, Dickers picked up my slack. I got some W's there. I got to be honest. The tech tone point was pretty good. And I caught him on some bullshit. But Dickers did carry for like the specifics of his history, because what he relies on, nobody knows about his life more than he does, obviously, because it's his fucking life. So he'll like bombard you with, do you know who I was talking to on February 3rd? Do you know? As if like that question changes the relevance of the insinuation being made. And because you don't know it, you look stupid. And he also has the ability to lie. Because if you don't know like the specifics of everything. So Dickers, who's much more familiar with the lore than I am, was able to pick up the slack in that area. Despite me, trying to eat his head off because of his delay. I thought he kept interrupting me. That was, he helped me there. How does it feel knowing that counterpoints made Destiny crash out harder than you ever could? Well, obviously that's his friend, but also I think there was a lot of that response was due to pressure that had already been applied by all of us. I still think the fact that he kept ignoring your questions is more damning than me. The Destiny that I knew, the Destiny that I was legitimately I was nervous. I'll totally be honest. I was scared of that debate. I was scared because I had viewed Destiny as one of the, despite thinking he's a horrible human being, I'd viewed Destiny as one of the best debaters online, right? He's established that reputation. I'm hardly the only one that thought that, right? I had not prepped, and I was on no sleep, and I was told, everyone was accusing me of running, I was supposed to go up against like what I consider one of the best debaters in the space in like an hour. So when I entered that shit, I was legitimately nervous, and I thought I was going to lose, get embarrassed, get humiliated, and everyone would be disappointed. So I started off the stream saying, don't expect anything good out of me here. I believe it's my obligation to show up. I didn't think I was going to win that. I was just so shocked at how easy it was. He like it was easy to catch him. It was easy he had nothing. They got to the point where when I would ask him questions, as you said, he would literally just ignore them. The old Destiny would have at least tried to obfuscate or get a jab in. He just doesn't even respond at certain points. It's really fucking bad. That's why you never despair. That's why you always prepare for the worst. Always, I always expect, or I always tell myself, you're gonna do shit, because if I don't do shit, I feel a lot better. But anyways, he's been spiraling. He's consumed by spite. He's consumed by spite, vindictiveness. Unironically, like watching this guy, watching Ethan, has motivated me to not hate people, at least as much. There's some people I still hate. I haven't really gotten over that. But be spiteful against people, or I just watch how it's destroyed these guys, and made them fucking miserable. Albeit in Destiny, it's narcissistic spite because he's the one that did the wronging, not vice versa. In Ethan's case, he did a lot of the wronging. The shit that he actually was crashing. There was some wrongdoing perpetrated against him that might have evoked an initial emotional response, but it's been going on for a year, right? I was just shocked. This was just not the guy I remembered. This was not the guy I watched. You manifest your downfall. You believe, yeah, but when the thing is, if I believe I'm gonna do well and I talk over it, when I fail, I'm gonna look like a cocky bastard that couldn't like put his money where his mouth was. And I just that's not good, right? The second half, I did pretty good. Dude, I forgot. It was this speed. I hate to put you on blast, Speed Racer. It was so retarded. Dickers did most of the talking. When I started talking, he'd talk because he was on a delay. He was literally unironically on a delay. Even Destiny was correct on this point when he called out that Dickers had a delay. Destiny was correct on the internet point that Dickers was having an internet problem, but he was having an internet problem, so there was a delay. So he'd like talk over me and shit, and I thought he was just interrupting me, and it was annoying as fuck. And I didn't think he was going to be there for the debate because he had said to me originally he didn't think he was going to show up. He did ultimately show up, which I appreciated because he absolutely helped me. That would have gone a lot worse without him. But like, I'd make a good point. There'd be times where I'd start talking, making a good point, and then the Speed Racer would be in chat, shut the fuck up and let Dickers talk. Am I supposed to be there just to sit in silence? Like, what? Why am I even showing up then? The rare times I got the chance to open my mouth, it's in chat. Give Dickers a chance to speak. I feel like I did. I feel like I did give Dickers a chance to speak. I gotta be honest with you, man. Anyways, our buddy Whick had a debate last night, and apparently, I'm being told it did not go. I'm being told it was a total shit show. So we're gonna take a look at this. Thank you so much. Let It Go New Zealand with the $8.99 smiley face. Much appreciated, buddy. Also, if you're new here, please sub. It really helps me out. Tony did. Yeah, I'm hearing that. I'm hearing this. I get that people like being a good debater or whatever, or being good, or everyone's good at something. Okay, everyone's good at something. Not everyone's great at debating or like live argumentation or coming up with shit on the spot. Most people probably aren't. There's some people I think I'm a little bit better than the average person. That's just from experience. But most people aren't good at that shit, and that's totally fine. That's totally fine. But if you know you suck at fucking debating, have somebody like, and you're not like a public facing figure, why assume that role? Like when we're go give the point to somebody who's good at arguing for and have them go in. It's different if he's a streamer, right? It's different if he's a streamer, but I'm being told this debate was a nightmare. We're going to take a look.
Hi, you're live.
Like apparently Spicy Chat was like bullying the fuck out of him after this and he's left the internet or something.
Hello?
Debate is a skill you need to develop? Yes. Yes. When I started, I would lose every time. Every single fucking time I'd lose and I'd get embarrassed. Every time.
Hi. What's up?
Hi, Whick. How are you?
Oh, we've been better, but we're here.
Been better?
Well,
yeah, you seem to be, you seem to have some things on your mind lately. Some ruminations, we might call them.
Some considerations that I've been pondering, that have been cooking in my brain.
Well, the debate went well. We each got good points. We would have done better if we bounced off each other better. Shame we only had 90 minutes notice. True. No, I acknowledge it. I was being way too impatient. I was being very impatient with Tickers. I gotta be honest. I admit it, but he saved my ass in that debate. He absolutely saved my ass. I wouldn't have come out of that looking good if he wasn't there. I just wouldn't. Destiny would have pivoted to some personal shit, and I wouldn't have had the answer. But the shit that I knew about, the shit that I did know about, like the tech tone stuff and the context, etc., I was satisfied with my performance there.
For a little bit, yes. No, that's exactly right. I had a bit of a revelation recently that has changed my outlook on a few things. A few revelations, actually. So yeah, we've taken that new context into account and made some changes.
I'm sensitive to being yelled at. I'll have a conversation. That's fine. If I want to talk to somebody about something, by the way, as well, if you're and I'm not talking about other streamers, if you fling shit, I'm going to be hard on you. I'm going to go just as hard at you as you go on other people. But if you're like a chatter that I want to call in about something, I can understand that. And I understand as well, it's not a good look to start debate petoing somebody who's clearly like not equipped for it. You can watch conversations I've had in the past with people who don't know how to debate and shit. I feel like I've been super polite, and just converse essentially to get them to buy into my point.
Yeah, are these the ones you were describing?
So if I ever want you to call in because you disagree with me or whatever, I understand if you're a child. I'm not gonna fucking go and start screaming at you.
Earlier in your stream.
Well, depending, yeah. So I went through it, and I went through the reasons that I've made the decisions I have, how like Destiny and and the people around him have gone up in my credibility because they were honest to me, and people who were against him have gone down in my credibility because they lied to me. And I think that's perfectly
What
happy.
lies did people tell you?
Sure, that there was no doxing going on in that server. They swore to me up and down there was no doxing. And I was shown evidence that, oh, look, there was doxing. And not only that, the server itself confirmed that that was happening. Right?
Wait, sorry, I was just reading something.
There was no doxing. And I was shown evidence that, oh, look, there was doxing.
Yes, that you refused to show me at the time, or the people you were actively talking to. Per my knowledge and per Dicker's knowledge, it was Destiny and Dan were the ones making the claim, and therefore it was their burden to substantiate the claim. They had the opportunity to do so, and the evidence they presented that they claimed proved that claim was insufficient and did not prove that claim. There was no evidence that doxing had occurred, despite them asserting this. And if you're claiming that this thing happened, and this is how it happened, look here, and I see that's not what happened, I'll say this thing didn't happen, right? This thing didn't happen. If later details or evidence comes out, this thing happened in a separate circumstance that you never actually like provided evidence for or argued at the time, then the argument at the time would then be revised, right? Because new information has come out. When you get new information, you revise your take accordingly. But with what I had at the time, it was absolutely fair for me to assert that this was not a doxing server. It still isn't a doxing server, but that no doxing had occurred, because the claim of doxing, the example that they said they had an example of it, the example is it wasn't doxing.
And not only that, the server itself confirmed that was.
Thanks so much, Butterflies, for the 5. I was nervous when you were ghost white before the debate. It was such a good watch to see you get your footing and dunk on Destiny. Shout out to Dickers too. Yes, shout out to Dickers.
Happening, right?
Yeah, the server confirmed that they found the instance and they banned the person.
Yeah, but that's like fucking too late. It's 11 months too late. And you guys had sworn up and down.
It's 11 months too late. Okay. So the claim is always changing. Moderation was bad in the server. A moderation should have caught something that they didn't catch is a very different claim than this was a doxing server that explicitly permitted the dissemination of PII. Those are very different claims. One would indicate some negligence, which I can totally admit happened here, right? There's no reason that Kosher Kathy should have been owning the fucking community Discord or whatever that everyone was congregating in. No offense, Kathy. I just, you're a spurg. Sometimes you shouldn't have been in charge of that. But also, them being negligent at moderating is not the same thing as the assertion that this was a doxing server, because that suggests that doxing was a routine activity that was explicitly permitted in the server. They have one example of this happening from like a year ago or something, that was not brought to anyone's attention and seemingly forgotten about. I've not seen any evidence since of this occurring since, right? When this was brought to everybody, when people were made aware of what had happened, everybody took action. Everybody. I unfortunately, despite being friends with the person that posted this PII, not through the Destiny shit, I was friends with him through Spicy or whatever. The person that posted this, I unfortunately had to remove them from my server. I say unfortunately because I don't think this is like a bad person that intended to go and like dox. I think they just saw a tweet and linked it. Unfortunately, that's still the dissemination of PII, and they're on our ass right now, and that's obviously something that needs to be moderated. If I know about it, is this person irrevocably damaged in my eyes? No. If they seem to understand that what they did was wrong, it was from like a year ago, and I probably will allow them back in my server at some point. So long as this behavior is acknowledged to be wrong, they can apologize for it, explain it, and we'll never do it again, right? It didn't happen in my server. It happened somewhere else. But I still, in this specific instance, I reviewed it. I'm not gonna treat this person like a sex offender.
What do you expect them to do?
It was an obvious dox. Why didn't they ban him in the first place?
I'm not.
Because the people that mattered didn't see it. That's why you have no evidence of them acknowledging it.
I don't know what your docs looks like. I have no idea what this information would even look like.
Okay.
And now you're also... well, I have a number of questions for you. One was, why not provide the evidence that you were doxed and just censor the doxable
Because
parts?
I can't... the nature of it, I can't do that.
But you can censor that part of it.
Well, what do you mean? It's hard to describe, right?
I said this to him during the stream. I said, if you want to prove that PII was disseminated, you could have censored it, right? But when I looked at it, I understood why he couldn't. Because it was a photo and a tweet pertaining to his full name and something he did in his personal life. And if he included the photo, you could have just reversed image searched it. He would have literally had to redact the full message. So he would have just been sending nothing. So I wish he explained that at the time. So he didn't expect me to take him at just like face value. But I can actually understand here, to be fair, why Whick was unable to do that at the time.
I can't. It's not something like I could show you a block of
still scamming. My bad. Doxing is not tolerated in this space, and I went and made sure that this happened. Well, confirmed that it happened, and once I confirmed it, I took action, as did everybody else. Who did I scam? I read Butterfly. Oh, wait. Sorry, my bad. Sorry, Sister Godiva. Much appreciated. Is it just me, or is the DGG orbiters just accusing this made-up conspiracy of doing exactly what they've provably done? Yes. Yeah, that's literally the whole game. That's the whole game. Destiny knows that he's a fucking evil person, and he just wants everybody to look as bad as he does. Also, really quick, I'm noticing that these, like, clipping accounts are clipping, like, the funny little, me talking about Parry, or me talking about the shit from earlier. Fair, clip that. That's content. But if you were able to clip, there's no reason you shouldn't be clipping my Destiny segment. There's no reason you shouldn't. What I've said here... other people have said it. I'm not saying anything groundbreaking, but these people are astroturfing like fuck. There's like, if there's one of us, there's 10 of them, and a lot of our messages are hidden behind like fucking 6 hour VODs. So if you're on iPhone, use like an app like Record It, record the little clip. You can in the Photos app, trim out the beginning and end, and then make a tweet like streamer at Exiled Aiden breaks down such and such, and if you tweet it, I'll see it because you added me. At me in brackets, don't at me at the beginning of the tweet, or it's not going to show up. For everyone else, I'll retweet it and shit.
Third material.
Yeah, sure.
But
do you
then
remember?
How do you know that's me? How do you know that's
Clippers? Might not DGG. Okay, I can't actually say this definitively. I can't actually say this definitively, but to my knowledge, because I had Clippers express to me that they were worried. They want you to be scared. They want you to be scared, and it's how they get away with lies. The truth of the matter is, although they are doxing a lot of people, like the random shitter, no-name, faceless Clippers, I've not really seen, to my knowledge, any doxing of that. Would they try to do something like that? Absolutely. So my advice would be to you, make a clipping account. Make a burner clipping account with, like, Proton Mail, and just tweet out clips on there. It's that simple. It's that simple. You don't need to do like there are like accounts like also if you're a me person, it's nice that we're collaborating with other members of the community. But if you came from rep your colors, AG4L in bio, AG4L in tag. I saw that the person that clipped AG4L troops. I don't even know who that is. AG4L troops. Post a clip from the Destiny shit. Much appreciated.
anyone. How do you know what that is?
But that would lie on your credibility.
Well,
Some
then,
amount of it would lie on your credibility, but there's also
well, then if
Are you familiar?
if the credibility is
Sorry,
a
do you mind
thing,
if I-
then you should probably use my credibility
Well,
now
you-
to judge whether I'm telling you the truth or not. I'm telling you,
you're
I saw my docs.
You could be saying this based off of nothing is the issue, and you're expecting us to make.
Stop what? Okay, I'm sorry guys. Will is me 76 said actually I should stop and I shouldn't tell you to clip. So I guess I'm not allowed to do that. That's my bad, guys. It's my bad. That's really like a significant contribution. It's helped me understand the error in my ways, and I will no longer try to get my message out there now. I'm just gonna shut up and die.
Like very broad
but they
determinations.
But they already admitted it.
Fuck that. Clip like shit, okay? If you see these fucks for what they are and you want to contribute, we have the advantage because we're honest. We don't need to lie to make our points. We're not sex criminals that are actively litigating our shit in civil court right now, etc. All they have advantage-wise is the numbers game and resources to AstroTurf. We need to be unified. There is power in numbers. Clip like fuck. I don't care how you need to do it. I don't care if you need to go make a fucking clip like hell. And that's not just for me, by the way. Queeman's gonna be live later, I think. People will be talking about this. Clip all this shit.
Happened.
Like, yeah, but I don't understand why you are so.
And this is the most important drama I've ever like covered. Unironically, like I've ever like actually been actively covering. I just see this shit now so much for what it is, and it is insanely important to not let this guy get away with the fucking lies he's telling.
Willing to jump on board with this when you will not provide the evidence, even censored.
Okay.
Now we have other
just real quick.
instances.
Can
we have other.
Just real quick before we move on. Before we move on, just
okay. Why is Tony? Nobody's disputing that Whick's PII got posted in that server. When we were made aware of it, I went to go verify. I'm not in the server, but I spoke to who I needed to talk to figure out that it happened. Where it happened, how it happened, and I took action for myself personally, and I think everyone else did. But it's not in dispute that his PII got posted. Like a year ago or something, 2 weeks into the server's creation, somebody put a tweet in chat that had Whick's PII in it. And nobody's denying that happened. The server itself came out with a statement, and they've now opened it up and shit, I think, so.
You're asking me for evidence.
Please do not clog up Proton Mail for that. Use Emailnator for disposable Gmails. Okay, I don't know shit about Proton Mail. I just know that's what everyone uses.
But you admit that it happened and that the snark.
Nobody's gonna clog it up because there's gonna be about 3 people, and those 3 people that just heard what I said and have decided, you know what, I'm gonna be the fucking guy that's gonna go do something and clip. You were my favorite people. Just so we're clear, you were my favorite people, and I'm in debt to you. But it's not gonna clog up Proton.
Said that.
Don't use whatever you gotta do to keep your OPSEC safe when clipping. Go and do that. I don't know shit about it. I just know that's what other people I know do. Go do your own research.
I've seen their statements. I have not seen the evidence. I have not seen any of the logs.
Hold on.
And I don't understand
I'm just
why.
saying, so do you not believe them when they say it?
Good people that aren't lying totally need a lot of disposable email addresses. Okay, do you actually just want to call in? Do you want to call in? To any DGGers that are watching, if you have shit to say, let's say it. I have a server, link in the description. You can join it. I have a call-ins VC. Click the VC and we can talk. If you're just like a normal person, I'm not going to debate pedo you. We can have a convo where I think I can legitimately convince you of my side, because that's what my goal is.
Not necessarily. I don't know what was posted, but now we're seeing people come in and try to accuse this community of egregious actions. Like, I am very strongly against doxing. I know
Where's the link? I'm about to destroy this man in a blood sports debate. The link is in the description. The link's in the description. A meeting of the link's in the description. Get in here. Get in here. Let's have it. Who's the first taker? Let's have it. You know, actually, real quick, before we do, get in call-ins and I'll drag you. Just 2 seconds. I'm just going to make a cup of coffee. Because I need one. And we'll talk. Get in call-ins. Line up, people. This is an open call. If you open call-ins, if you have heard some shit that I've said that you disagree with, get your ass in call-ins. We'll be right back in like a minute, okay? So be here. Be here. 1 second. Nobody go anywhere. All right, folks, my coffee is being made. It just takes a second. I'm noticing nobody is in call-ins. If I have a mod watching, I don't know if the link doesn't work or something, because it seems like a lot of people disagree with me, so I don't know why anyone wouldn't want to call in. Let's get an updated link in chat. Let's get an updated link in chat. If you're a mod. I don't know if the link's not working. Hold on. My coffee's almost done. Hold on, people. Hold on. All right, let's do this shit. Oh, nobody's in call-ins. Nobody's in fucking call-ins. Wow, dude. Wow. Okay. Cool. All right, who's here? Is the link not working? Is the link not working? They just baited you. Is the link actually just not working? Can somebody test it? Let me know if the link is working. Scared and running. Link works. Okay. Well, I'll be looking at call-ins. The only person we have is Icy. Hello? This person that I definitely don't know, that is definitely not calling in for the sake of a troll. What's up? Hello? Great stuff. Thank you for calling in. Much appreciated. That's the only person in call-ins. Okay, anyways. It's just crazy how many people disagree with me versus how many people actually show up. It's unironically insane. No clips either. No clips either. There's just one clip. It says, skinny anorexic Jew denies fat meatball ever proposition for a good time in bed. Although I appreciate that you're clipping whoever runs that account, that's not like a clip that anyone's going to give a fuck about. You have demonstrated an ability to clip, which I immensely appreciate. Clip the shit that matters. Clip the shit that matters. I care about that clip. My bad. Read Stale's latest tweet. Okay. Did you put an inbox? Let's take a look. I'm not fucking anorexic, dude. Why is everyone telling me to eat? Where the fuck is this shit, dude? Let's go to Stale's Twitter. Stale 2000. I'm not mad. You clip me. I'm mad. Your clip sucks. Well, no, I'm just mad that you are willing to go that mile, which I immensely appreciate, and clip. It would be great to see you use that willingness for like some good. You know, some promotional clips that are going to bring people to the channel, clips that are going to articulate a point, shit like that. Nobody gives a fuck about whether, nobody outside of this like niche little streamer space gives a fuck about the Parry, whether or not Parry asks me or not. Nobody cares about that. Hold on. Where is... Okay, Stale 2000? I think it's here. Okay, Stale makes a tweet. Let's take a look at this real quick. His newest tweet. Well, I'm not gonna look at his newest tweet. I'm gonna look at his last tweet, where Morale, hold on. Morale tweeted out something against Stardust, and I said he was making fun of her dead dad. And I've said this before. I think edgy jokes are fine. I think when you sign up for a shit-flinging space and volunteer information to the internet, it's going to be used against you. You just have to assume that, right? Which is why I can't be mad over what happened, right? But if our goal right now is to combat a ginormous, like, apparatus of lies, that's what it is. It's lies that are being utilized to justify harm against people. We want the world on our side. So believe it or not, maybe, just maybe, and I know I'm going to sound crazy here, maybe it just like wouldn't be the time. Maybe we need to restrain the usual edginess, knowing this is so important and the eyes of people are like on this space. It's probably not a great idea to like get your little like edgy jabs in that just make us look like dicks to normies like scrolling the TL that are just like seeing the shit. When you clip, when you tweet, etc., ask yourself this question. If I just like sort of knew about Destiny or was like an old fan or like in Twitch poll who's aware of the guy that's just following this drama, pretend you were that, look at your own tweet and ask yourself, how would you interpret it? How would you interpret it? You have to utilize theory of mind. You have to put yourself in the shoes of the people we're trying to appeal to. And sure, your edgy jokes are funny. I'm not against edgy jokes. I think anything can be made fun of. It's not a moral position. It's a strategic one. Okay? It's a strategic one. There's no reason to alienate people that we don't need to alienate for the sake of like a joke, right? That's stupid. This is my declaration of war. World War Snark. Oh, thank you. Hold on. Sorry, really quick. Thank you so much to your local cryptid. Thank you so much, your local cryptid, for the 10. My boy, you're withering away right in front of our eyes. Please buy yourself a tasty meal. I'm at my normal weight, but I appreciate it. That's not true. These past few days, man, I've been so like in the trenches sometimes. I forgot to eat. So yeah, my mom tells me about it. My mom tells me all the time. She's like, are you eating? So because of that, I want to test something out. This is all public call to action to make valid and true points on any rule-breaking behavior that this person has done, either on Twitter, their Twitter account, or on their YouTube account, which is Morale Live. People talking about mass reporting and how it's scary Well, I'm not sure. I want to test it out. What does happen when you go through every piece of content of a drama streamer and see if they broke any rules? I'll tell you what happens. Morale's absolutely violated TOS in his VODs. Just as I think every live streamer that's in the commentary space or like does like critical coverage of people, every commentary streamer has something in their VODs that technically is TOS. Someone was saying that I just learned this term. No, I was explaining policy versus practice in the context of posted rules. And sure, a lot of these rules are de jure, right? Where it's written that you can't do this, but de facto, it's rarely enforced on like live stream VODs. So something in reality is not necessarily going to be TOS until someone flags it, right? Or sometimes YouTube turns why. I've heard YouTube's way more lenient with stream VODs, but the truth is, if you were to go take a microscope to anyone's VODs, you will find things that technically violate YouTube's terms of service. That's just going to be true. Does that mean that shit is worth reporting? No, right? You're not like, unless you're like the most annoying, like you want to be like a Janny hall monitor that wants to get people taken off over jokes. No, why would you ever report that, right? I'm not against reporting for certain situations. I've said like there are extreme enough situations where anyone would be okay with reporting. As I've said before, I've reported accounts for animal abuse. In case of people that were posting images to the internet of them torturing animals. I'd be totally okay if you saw that and wanted to report that. Please report it, actually. Not only report it, if you want to go the extra mile, if somebody's uploading videos of them torturing an animal and you think you're the only one seeing this, go report it to law enforcement, which is what I did as well. That's besides the point, right? There are technically instances where we'd always be okay with reporting, etc. But with jokes and shit, like to go and report that, you suck. You suck. You're literally just a fucking like, you're just like a snitch. It's snitch behavior. It's flagrant snitch behavior, and they're proud of it. This is a public call to, just like I made a public call to action to clip. Just like I made a public call to action to clip. 184 watching. Somebody has to clip this fucking, that's it. Mobilize, people, mobilize. I'm not even shilling for donos or tips. It is important we get our message out there. Clip like fuck. People keep talking about mass reporting and how it's so scary. Well, I'm not sure. I want to test it out. What does happen when you go through every piece of content of a drama streamer and see if they broke any rules? I am legitimately not sure, but tomorrow I'm going to spend a few hours vibe coding an AI to go through video transcripts and see if I can find anything. I just want to see if it works, and I've been waiting for a good enough target. Well, target acquired. Unfortunately, they haven't reacted to any of my content. Otherwise, I absolutely would have DMCA'd them. Only if it wasn't fair use, though. I, of course, respect the DMCA and would never DMCA transformative content, which is your legal right to create. To anyone who wants to join in on the fun, make sure that everything you do is within the TOS of the website that you are on, and you are only submitting valid TOS reports or valid DMCA requests. Do not ever go outside of valid TOS, not because of morality, but instead because it makes you vulnerable and can result in you being banned. The point is for your enemies to get banned and censored, not for it to happen. So they're just like just openly the villain, just like openly the villain, dude. Former Twitch star. Okay, this is making a little more sense. It's just like proud of being like, it's like not only do you suck, but you're just fucking proud of it too. Why do you have to be this way, Stale? Why do you have to be this way? I don't even hate Stale. I gotta be honest. I think the guy's funny. But like, why do you have to like? How's your day going? My day's going great. Personally, I'm going after this guy within the valid TOS allowed ways on all platforms because he is dumb enough to say stuff like this and it makes him vulnerable. But if you have targets of your own, feel free to use your own judgment and open fire. And definitely message me if you come up with any innovative and TOS allowed strategies. The entire commentary space is deranged. It is all worthless, and the only way it gets fixed is if the whole thing is burned to the ground. And this is my opening salvo. I think we have people around that are absolutely deranged that we shouldn't have around. But I would never advocate for reporting those people unless they were actively causing like significant harm to like a either like a child or an animal or something. Hell, if like people are uploading videos of them torturing an adult, you could report it, right? But like we're talking about very extreme scenarios where somebody's like documenting their violent crimes through the internet. That's where I'd be okay with reporting. I'd be okay with reporting it as well if, for example, I was to go say someone's docs right now. If the person whose docs I belong to wanted to privacy strike me so that their name, you know, didn't disseminate further or whatever, that's valid too. I'd say that's valid, right? Like if I did that, like you shouldn't have doxed. You know that, and the person has every right to do everything in their conceivable power to try to mitigate the harm of your decision to dox.
I know that everyone else in the server. Well,
hold
people
on.
in the server.
Not everyone in the server, right? A few people.
Hi, Dan.
Hold on, I gotta fix my Discord. Hold on one sec.
Take your time.
So yeah, Whick, I just don't understand why you don't just censor the information and
Because
post what they
at
sent
this
you.
point, I think that people have admitted in the server that my docs happened. I see no reason
well,
to release more information.
That's fine. We can move on to.
He's right. Wick is right. Wick is right. He does not need to prove. I can confirm if you trust me, or if you trust Queeman, or if you trust, like I can tell you, somebody did post a tweet 2 weeks into the server that did contain PII. Nobody's denying this. Nobody's denying this. It was brought to our attention. We're not denying it because because we do take doxing seriously here, right? It was verified that this did occur, and appropriate action was then taken as a result. The second we were made aware of it. So the question now is not when you're challenging them whether or not, I hate that it happened because it does make me look stupid. I think I absolutely was justified in arguing at the time based on available information and the argument they provided that it wasn't a doxing server. But when I say things like, it's the first doxing server where nobody got doxed, shit like that doesn't let me say that anymore, does it? Right? You could say, I guess, it's the first doxing server where they like, where they ban the people that dox, I guess. I don't fucking know, but besides the point. Shit like that, right? My argument was still correct at the time, but shit like that absolutely makes it a little harder, and it's not, and there's no reason to do it. Why would we want doxing? Why would we want it? You know, like, all it serves to do is make us unappealing to any outsiders because we look nuclear as a result. It gives them a great pivot to attack our character instead of our arguments, and it absolutely undermines everything we are attempting to do. And that what we're attempting to do here is combat this apparatus of lies, so that the truth prevails, right? And doxing is not necessary to do that, and in fact, you just harm the cause. Do not dox people. Do not go through people's PI. And if I knew about it, or when anyone else found out about it, action was taken. Action will be taken. Because that wasn't, obviously I was in the server, but that wasn't a doxing server. The best they have is like 2 weeks in, somebody posted a tweet with like PII, and then when that was brought to everyone's attention, they fucking moderated it. That wasn't a doxing server, and doxing is not tolerated here.
The next question. You said you would bring on even terrible people to your panel show.
Mm-hmm.
And since
what do you mean this isn't your server? It's not my server. It's not my server, but a lot of my people were in there, and I happen to align with the Destiny opposition.
you don't regulate off-platform behavior, would you ever extend an invitation to somebody like a bad empanada?
So yes, in certain contexts, it would be content rolled, to be clear. But yes, I would have bad empanada on in different. It depends on the context, right? I wouldn't have him on for a friendly chat. We're not going to play Among Us, right? But
no, I wouldn't.
Yes.
I wouldn't expect. I wouldn't want a chat with that guy to be friendly. I think he. Frankly, I think he should be banned everywhere. Same with anybody who's on an open doxing campaign. But
well, we have
He was not on a doxing campaign. He saw a tweet. It had PII in it, and he posted it. I don't even know if he fucking looked at the top, or I don't know if he. I don't know if he. I don't know. But I know this person, and I highly doubt I highly doubt they would have just like. I mean, I guess they could have, right? It's just fucking disappointing. It's disappointing, but it was in a campaign. To my knowledge, they just posted that tweet once. He's talking about Bad Empanada. I thought they were talking about the other person. He used Bad Empanada as a comparison,
We
right?
have a thing in our server where we can effectively ban you from anything but my stream space, right? So you can't interact with the Discord whatsoever. You can't interact with the members. You can't type in it. You can't do any of that. But I can have you on stream. And we did this and we put this rule in place because there
was no exclusivity for the doxing server. I'm sorry, where was it? Okay. Well, how do we define a doxing server out of curiosity? Because I thought a doxing server would denote not only that one of the purposes of the server was to dox people, but that doxing was a routine, permitted occurrence that continuously happened within the server, so much so that it's inherent to its classification. When you describe the server, you call it a doxing server, as opposed to a server that just had docs posted in at one point, right? Chud Logic, good example of this. When this dude like fucking, and this is once again, it's the difference between negligence versus like intent. This like Spencer guy had reposted when Willie Mack got doxxed. This Spencer guy had reposted something about the wedding or something. I don't even remember exactly. In Spicy, and that didn't get caught for like 2 or 3 days because Chud has 3 mods. The one that was supposed to moderate Spicy was on vacation. He'd been gone. The other guy was supposed to moderate Spicy. He's American, so he was sleeping when it happened. The dude who posted it was Australian, and the other mod that would have been awake at the time, she only moderates general chat. So when this was brought to everyone's attention, Chud like took decisive action. Absolutely not okay. Everyone said something and took appropriate action. That's obviously not what a doxing server is, right? A doxing server denotes it is intentional, routine, and a core part of the purpose of said server. Hell, I wouldn't even care if doxing was just allowed and regularly happened. I wouldn't care if you called it a doxing server, right? Like, I wouldn't care if you called Kiwi Farms a doxing website, even though they do shit on there besides doxing. Someone has said that there was heavy vetting before being allowed, and that nobody said that. I used the wrong word in my convo with Destiny and then immediately clarified what I meant by vetting, right? Vetting meant the people that were invited were known figures within the space that had vested interest in not committing social suicide and doxing someone. To my knowledge, you had to have been known by the owners to get in, right? So vetting was the wrong word, but me using the wrong word wouldn't matter when I elaborate within a few minutes as to how I define that word in this context. Vetting wasn't the correct term, right? Vetting was not the right term there, for sure. But there shouldn't be any confusion when I explain what I meant by vetting.
contexts and circumstances where I would have someone who might otherwise be banned, but I would have them on my show because we are a free speech platform at the end of the day.
Well, you say you're a free speech platform, but you seem to have a problem with people making certain...
This is not what when Destiny called... What have I done? Ask yourself, what have I done to Destiny or anyone around him? What have I done? I have refrained from... Not because I was scared. It's literally because I wasn't interested. I've refrained from significant coverage of him. I think before recent events, my coverage of him, like even mentioning him in a negative light, was like limited to like, I think less than fucking 6 VODs out of 200 or something. I wasn't a Destiny guy. I just wasn't. Anyone who's watched me knew that, right? And I certainly wasn't interested enough or unhinged enough to be involved in doxing him or anyone around him. Just so we're clear, right? Yet, because I saw his argument and believe he didn't provide sufficient evidence to back it and recognized and criticized his dishonest behavior, he said on stream that I am fair game. Now, what does that mean exactly? In the context of people are throwing around doxing allegations against each other, his community is doxing several people. What does he mean by fair game? Well, you can, if you're not a fucking idiot, you could probably infer, right? He played dumb when I pressed him on it, but you could infer exactly what he meant by that. What have I done to like deserve that? In this case, nothing. Nothing. I just spoke. I spoke. I used my ability to freely speak, to vocalize criticism against him. And because of that, I'm supposed to there was a threat made or a call made that would be threatening to cause harm in the form of like the malicious publication of my PII and the harm that comes as a result of that, right? That's exactly what he meant by fair game if you understand the context. So this is absolutely a war on free speech. It's a war on truth. It is a war on truth.
Jokes that you deem to be crossing a line.
Well, yeah.
And I'm confused about why things like why specifically mocking Stardust.
It's nothing. I'm not claiming I'm special. I'm not claiming I'm special. You don't think I understand how many people have been doxxed by these guys? I'm not special. It wasn't like he was. He does this to everyone that's criticizing him. That's the point. Somebody that barely covered him prior to that all I did was vocalize criticism against him. I was fair game. That should tell you the threshold they have for determining that somebody is worthy of harm.
As an example.
Because she's my friend. I'm not asking them.
Just so you're not
I'm not
pro-free
asking
speech.
them to be.
He's such a weasel fuck. He always puts that bitch sarcastic voice. Well, if you rewatch the debate, which I think I'm just going to turn into a VOD. If anyone wants to help me, I tried to get that VOD edited. I just need someone to put clips together for the intro. I do like the little intro reel. If someone wants to do that, DM me your price, actually, because I say I'll get it done and it just will never be done in time. I literally don't need any editing. I just need like good clips for like an intro reel like I do in my other VODs. Shoot me a DM on Discord, X, all that good shit. But if you rewatch that debate, which you'll hopefully do if I post an edited VOD, when you rewatch the debate, you'll notice that when he does that, I call him on it. And I say like just sarcasm, just sarcastic insinuations instead of an actual argument. Like,
mass reported and deplatformed. I'm saying you aren't going to make fun of my friends in my space. That's it. Not to if you cross a line, if you're a fucking arsonist and a shit flinger, then I don't need you in my space. And if you think that's inconsistent, fine. Call the consistency police. Have me arrested.
Well, you manage the space, and your space in some ways.
If I'm inconsistent,
the rules that you choose to enforce, inform us in some way about the principles that you hold, and you say that you hold the principle of free speech.
The problem is this guy is like shitting himself. That's the whole problem here. This guy took on this debate and he's like very clearly nervous as fuck. If you're not an experienced debater, I get it. I know why you'd be like a little bit nervous, but like that should probably tell you. I was nervous too, but I know that even though I'm nervous, I can still like articulate myself. I used to not be able to do that, and when I wasn't able to do that, I would have probably not taken on a debate.
And then you say, "Don't say these things that I don't like about my friends." That seems to me to be incoherent.
Free speech means you can say whatever you like, and I don't think you should be deplatformed for it or arrested for it. But I can criticize it, and if I don't want it in my house, I can remove you from my house.
All right, I just think that is anti-free speech, but we can move on.
That's called freedom of association. It's part of free.
Tony, it's a little.
I would agree to a Whick moderated debate panel. Just because even when he's moderating from a biased position, he's just not an effective moderator. As of before, I barely knew this guy before this started. He's just not a good moderator. He's not like a channel. He didn't really get in my way. I don't think he got in Dicker's way either in that whole debate. And I don't think he didn't get in our way because he was being fair. He didn't get in our way because he's just not good.
It's a little what? Oh, am I disconnected? Hello?
I can hear
what?
You. Dan.
Dan,
it's Dan.
I think you're.
I don't know what's wrong with Dan's setup, but that's Dan. That's not you.
Oh, okay. I have a few other questions.
Dan's failing us right now, but go ahead. Ask your other question.
Yeah,
Wait, no. What about now?
Oh, yeah, you're here.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, Tony, how dare you think that Whick is such a stupid man? He knows that you're in the server. Do you think he's read messages? Yeah, he's read messages you've sent. Now, he may not tell you which one, but they're not good ones. And you're there looking at the man and you're like, hey, why can't we be in the server?
That's the worst thing I've done in that server.
Why do you think that I would give you a heads up so you can try running ahead of it?
It's because there's nothing substantial there.
Sounds like you have nothing to worry about.
Yes, I don't have anything to worry about. But for some reason, you want to use this.
This is so gay. They keep doing this. They keep doing it. Nobody except chatters are like scared. Nobody except like chatters and Chud Logic are scared. Keep like this like performative like you guys have been pressed, and it's very clear they have gotten out their best shit. I'm certain of that. I unironically think, in terms of the server leaks that come out of this manifesto, it's going to be mostly edgy jokes that are going to be recontextualized. For those of you that don't remember, when I had the debate, this happened, and I'll just replay the clip here, so you can see it. Shout out to Nos Live.
That's your community.
My guy.
Aiden.
That's my
that
guy.
guy is gonna. Yeah,
good one.
that guy's gonna rape you, Aiden. He's gonna rape you so fucking hard, it's gonna be unbelievable. Okay, you're gonna get raped beyond belief because that guy's in your community. It's crazy. It's crazy because he has the OPSEC he has is fucking.
So all this posturing. So I, of course, I spoke to Dan behind the scenes after the debate was done. Well, he reached out to me, and I spoke to him. And he was actually, I gotta be honest, this was probably maybe manipulative, I don't fucking know. He was pleasant to speak to in DMs. I don't talk to the guy, so it was weird. But basically, I appreciated that Dan had disagreed with Destiny's assertion that I was fair game. That doesn't really change anything else, though, does it? I wanted to, if somebody that was Wendy's from my community. He's a big clipper of mine. He does a lot of work. I can appreciate that, but he's also a fucking idiot. In a way of he has the mentality that I had a year ago, where it's just all about trolling and saying edgy shit for laughs or whatever. I kind of grew out of that in the last year, but I see that in him, and he's receptive when I've criticized him for it. But I wanted to know what he did, because when Dan said this in the context of a doxing server, I wanted to know if one of my own people doxed. Because if they did, I'd have to do something about it, right? I obviously don't want that around. I obviously don't want that to be something to be used against me. So I went and looked into what Dan was talking about. And I can tell you what Dan was talking about. And they're going to put it in the manifesto probably, so I might as well tell you now. Somebody in the chat had said something along the lines of, DGG is scraping this chat right now. So Windy, the joke was, he was going to say the worst thing to get scraped, right? The joke was to be shocking, right? If you know DGG is scraping, what's the worst possible thing you can say? And that is the humor that comes out of my community. I have to be honest. That's what was happening in that call you've all heard, that people have tried to disingenuously paint me as a wannabe murderer over. Shock humor is just big in my space, right? But it is humor. It is humor. It doesn't exceed, it doesn't necessarily, but in this case, what Wendy had said was something along the lines of, I'm going to kill Dan's kids. That's not okay. That's not okay. That would reasonably worry someone. They don't know you. They don't fucking know you. They don't know you're joking. They don't know the culture. And people obviously are incredibly protective of their kids. And that's not okay. It isn't. And it's fucking horrible for us. All right? It's not okay. You're basically fucking shooting us, right? That's not cool. But it's a joke. I know it's a joke because I know Wendy, right? I knew what he was doing. I knew it was a joke. So I got him out of my server for a while. He needed to learn his lesson. I basically interrogated him recently to make sure that he understood that what he did can never happen again. That he is not, and I'll say this again, he's not a threat to your kids. This is somebody who's younger than myself that was being edgy in a fucking chat that you were never intended to read. And I understand Dan's concern over that, but he absolutely overreacted in his assertion here. It was a joke. It was a joke. Optically horrible joke, which is why watch your fucking humor, because they are disingenuously characterizing jokes as serious statements, but a joke nonetheless. And I don't think I'm absolutely raped because somebody I know made an edgy joke in another server that I wasn't in. But all of that performance was literally just for an edgy joke.
List of people to dox when you know that they aren't doing it to you, and you know that the person who was.
He's my guy. He's my guy, and I personally apologize to Dan over it because he is my guy for sure, right? And and I appreciate my guys. I appreciate the people that actually, when I say stuff like it's very important you clip, the people that actually go and clip are immensely appreciated. But unfortunately, as well, some of that behavior does, like, they use it to implicate us, right? So I personally apologized to Dan on behalf of Wendy. And you say, oh, that's gay. Why'd you say sorry to Dan? Well, you have to be a little reasonable here. I can understand a guy getting a little neurotic or whatever about somebody making like some niche with a niche sense of humor, making an edgy joke like that about like that where the subject line is about killing his kids. I can understand why that would freak someone out, especially someone like Dan who's neurotic as fuck. So I apologize. It was the right thing to do.
Doxing. Every instance of this. Every instance of this.
It's on
was
me now.
banned.
I got it. I like the
Was that in doc server 1 or 2? Where's the doc server? Well, I didn't mean to pull that up. Dan, if you want to call in, please feel free to do so. We could have a discussion. I'm a reasonable guy here. I'm a reasonable guy. All right? If you make a joke where the punchline is, I'm going to kill someone's kids, first of all, don't do that shit. That's horrible for us. That's horrible for us. If you do it, I'm probably going to assume you're like working for them or something, because why would you make a joke like that? But I can understand why somebody would be like freaking out, but apparently that's not even what he was talking about. If that's not what you're talking about, Dan, then you could tell, like, he did not say it, Dan, in my server. He did not say it in my server. He said it in that server. That's how I had to find out about it, because I asked somebody from that server to figure out what the fuck you were talking about, because you refused to give me anything. And that's what they came up with. So that's what I assumed you were referring to. Then he said it after the mole was removed. See, that's very interesting. We know the mole, the mole was removed. We know that now. But it's funny because the reason they started banning a bunch of accounts is because I told them that the server I told them that their server was fucking compromised. And they banned a bunch of accounts, but then they also proceeded to flip that against me and say that I was conspiring with like Diorio and Dan. I was not. That's not true. But the best op in the world to have is Dan Solomon. No matter what, he always makes whoever he is going after look good in comparison. I guess. We got access like 10 days ago after Lonerbox and Hutch. Then I guess I got bad intel. Do you want to just call in, like, do you want to just call in, Dan? We could, or just call me. We can talk. I'm not gonna bite. What was I just saying? Okay, anyways. Where were we? Let's keep watching this.
Remember, always offense. Always offense. Remember tactic 1, gang. Always offense.
I wanted to ask Whick. I wanted to ask another question.
Go for it.
So Whick, you said that people couldn't pedo jacket others on your server.
Yeah, that is something that we are cracking down.
Lonerbox named the leaker. It was Sulfur. I don't even know who the fuck that person is. Well, actually, I've actually heard that. That's not true. I heard that name a few days ago, so that's not even true. But they're not from our space, right? They were just in the server. I've literally never heard that person's name before this drama.
Yes.
Yeah,
I have no clue
sure,
the fuck
that's
they
fair.
are.
Now we have. I'm sure you're aware of food shops.
Hey, why did we move off of this issue again? I'm just going back, and that was a very clever move. I was
Well,
here, I was talking. Oh, I remember. You
we're
are
trying
a
to- 'cause I'm
two-faced
here,
cunt.
you're interrupting it.
You're a two-faced
You are
cunt
interrupting us, Dan.
that
Excuse me.
spends all of your time trying to make a documentary about how you can fuck over Hutch. In the same
No, that's not what
time-
I'm making.
Yeah, and when you're in
No,
there,
that's a
you're
lie. That's not
also
what I'm making.
basically running kind of gay ops a little bit against Lonerbox and kind of being like, how can we...
No, that's not what I'm doing.
I mean, they have the logs. We're going
Anyways,
to find
so
out.
Is he just not going to elaborate?
yes, you will
I
find
wouldn't
out, and you'll
lie
find
about
out that
this,
there is
man.
nothing in
Like,
there.
we're going to find out. He has the logs.
I mean, it's kind of like, it's kind of fun, right? I mean, I thought you were a Lonerbox homie, but you're like a Lonerbox not homie, which is really, it's making me sad.
This is one of the things that's
juxtaposition there, Dan. I love it.
This is one of.
He
Hang on.
thought he was a homie, but he's a not.
This is one of the things that is
He's a
really
not homie.
frustrating
I
with
know.
these people, because of a lot of the people.
These people,
who
the
are
Jews.
viewers of Lonerbox, who are viewers.
Okay, come on, Dan. Dan, what are we doing, buddy? The Jews, that's obviously not what this guy was saying. Okay.
Of Whick.
I don't know what you have on him. I've debated this guy before and called him retarded. This Tony guy, he's not one of mine. But I don't think that's what he was saying. Let's be fair here.
Who are viewers of Dylan Burns, who are viewers of all these people, are former viewers of Destiny. I learned about all these people because I used to be a Destiny viewer. I have been in these spaces for a long...
Actual anti-Semitism is a problem, and I just hate how quick certain people are to just throw that fucking word out, because it is something that should be taken seriously. Like, all forms of racism, well, anti-Semitism can manifest as racism, as you saw with the Nazis, or religious persecution, as you saw in historical Europe. But it is serious, right? Nobody should be persecuted for their faith or their ethnicity. And it is a very serious thing that has killed a lot of people. So I don't really like when people just are so quick to insinuate it or throw around the term, because I just feel like all you're doing is watering it down and giving people a cop out to say, oh, well, you guys just call everything anti-Semitic.
Long time. A lot of the people who dislike Destiny now were already integrated into these spaces before. So that's part of why I like Whick, you said earlier that you thought people deliberately infiltrate spaces.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you do.
And I find that...
You find that what?
It's because people have already been integrated into these spaces. These communities are integrated.
What better way to infiltrate a space than to turn the people that are already there?
True.
My view on Destiny changed. My view on other creators did not.
Okay. So you're a Lonerbox fan.
Yeah, I like Lonerbox. I watch his stream.
Yeah,
I enjoy his
you.
stream.
You participate. No negative comments. No.
Sometimes I have negative comments, but I haven't.
Well, I mean,
I
you
haven't
certainly wouldn't run any
opinion.
negative operations. You wouldn't be a part towards him, right?
What are you referring? Are you referring to something?
Are you asking me to refer to something? I'm just asking if you ever would. Ask me if I've ever been part of a operation to fuck with Whick. Go ahead, ask. Dan, have you been part of an operation to fuck with Whick? No, never.
Okay,
not once. I don't even need to ask me for an example.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know how when I ask you,
Yeah,
you're
I also haven't done this.
I don't know.
Because you come into me trying to menace me in DMs. It's really fucking weird. And I just want to talk about your car with the funky sideways speedo.
No, what you want to do is you want to
paint lollies on the side?
You are
Are you going to paint lollies on the side of your car, Dan?
An internet terrorist. That's you. You are.
What are you?
I'm I guess you could say a little bit of a vigilante of justice.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's kind of gay.
Well, you would know.
Are negative comments well, that is what snark is. How I've defined it, and when I've spoken about it negatively, it's essentially criticisms that are built on it's criticisms that are probably more openly bad faith or reliant on assumptions from somebody that already dislikes the person they're talking about. So for example, when people said I was coordinating with Dan and Diorio when I went and informed the server that I believed it was compromised, when they said that was snark. They were doing it tongue-in-cheek. They didn't actually mean it, but unfortunately the chatters always take it literally, and it became an actual criticism. Did they have evidence for it? No. They just took a bunch of facts and then reinterpreted them in a way that allowed them to make certain assumptions look more justifiable and assert things as fact with no actual evidential basis to prove it. That's what snark is to me. It's like gossip. That's what it is. It's like gossip. Or at least how I've previously defined it. And yeah, it sucks when you're on the receiving end of that. And I think we need to be honest, okay? There's no reason to fucking lie. I haven't seen too many examples of this. I shut down something today, and you absolutely should not be doing this. I get you make your like little memes, like this guy's a rapist, this guy, etc. If your meme, and I shut this down, it never happened. If your meme involves you creating something or taking something out of context for a joke, the whole joke shit, like it's so retarded. We're in serious territory, making serious arguments. It's time to stop acting like a fucking 9-year-old. Okay, you're not like an edgy like little kid. We are dealing with an apparatus of lies. There are serious allegations being made, and people have actually been put in jeopardy over this. Your time for like your little fucking niche sense of humor that alienates everyone outside our space, it's done. Just fucking stop. Like, it's not hard. But somebody was like trying to make it was one person, and I shut it down immediately. Okay, I shut it down. It was one person that was like making a joke that made somebody look, it was like an out of context funny thing that made somebody look like they potentially like were talking to a kid, and that wasn't true. If your memes involve you posting something that the reasonable person could walk away from and not know it's fake, and unfortunately the threshold for that is, you know, very low, because people believe anything, you've gone too far. You need to stop. I said this when they did it to Tommy, despite the fact that I hated him. When you go and you make an edit where a normie could just look at it and think this guy's a pedophile, just watching on the surface, your joke's too far. It's not a joke anymore. You're actually pushing something damaging, and you need to stop. There's no reason to do it. It's not that funny where it's justified. Your edgy niche humor can happen amongst yourselves in your chats. To actually go and post stuff like that, it just hurts us. Nobody did post it. Nobody posted it. But you just need to, you're not 9 years old. You just need to cut that shit out.
Reading is gay, like you said.
Yeah, I can tell you don't read. You get AIs to read and write for you, right?
No, not read. That would be silly, because then I'd have to still listen, right? And then you're kind
Well,
of.
you got it to summarize it for you, and then you just read the summary of it.
I mean, are you not using AI in this server and then using actual retards? You're using AR, actual retards to work on your shit.
The thigh post, I don't know about the thigh shit. I haven't seen it. Like if somebody didn't do something and you're making it look like they did a thing that they didn't do, like editing together a clip where, for example, somebody's making some sort of pass at a woman. If you take an unrelated clip of that woman talking about somebody being inappropriate with them as a kid, and you cut that out of context and put it together with the first clip so it looks like they're talking about the person from the previous clip, your joke is too far, and it shouldn't be treated as a joke. It should be treated as, if you post that, a normie will believe it, and it should be considered you're actually trying to push a false allegation. The whole hiding behind jokes shit has to stop. Let's be honest here. I was against it when it happened to me, when somebody elemented like if you're making a joke like that, it needs to be so obviously fake that any fucking retard with eyes who looks at it can see that it's fake. And at that point, it's like, why even make the joke?
So,
retards, ooh.
You like that? I'll let you use that one if you want to.
Dan, do you take a lot of clonazepam?
No.
No? Can I ask how much you take?
Why would I tell you what dosage of anything I take?
Why did you tell me you were prescribed it?
I said
Why
to
did you
everyone
answer
that I take it for sleeping. I've been very.
What does he take? What?
Why would I tell you what dosage of anything I take?
Why did you tell me you were prescribed it?
I said
Why
to
did
everyone.
you answer that?
Yeah, you guys are retarded. Why would you like say something like that? Why do you know that? First of all, why do you know what this guy's prescribed? And why the fuck would you say it? It just makes you look obsessive and weird that you even fucking remember that, you freak. You'd go in there and actually just use that in an actual argument. Like, why? I just don't get it. I don't get it. We have good points. We have serious points. It's time to get serious.
That I take it for sleeping. I've been very open with my life. That's one of the best parts.
It's basically you're a chatter that knows all. If you've already been convinced of these things, you have nothing to. It's not you I'm worried about, is it? Right? If you've already been, it's not you we're trying to convince. The people in here right now are probably people that didn't come here and get convinced that Destiny was bad yesterday, right? You guys have been following this for a while. You probably came from people like Queeman, and that's fair enough, right? The people that actually matter, the people that are actually worth convincing, are third parties. And if the claim is that we are obsessive stalkers, doxers, that will manufacture false claims against people and push it on them to ruin their life, and we're completely and totally unhinged, why would you, for no beneficial reason at all, it's not relevant to a point, why would you just like decide to say that? I just don't get it.
Do you feel like it affects your inhibitions?
No.
No? Well,
And one of the best
No,
parts is
too.
that you can kind of see me over the last 15 years online. And as a result of that, see the lack of
How do we nerf our okay, obviously you don't have to nerf yourself completely. It's not 1984. I'm just asking, hey, let's not like if the joke is, let me make a threat that looks like a threat to an outside observer against somebody's life, maybe don't make it. If the joke is, let me go manufacture believable evidence that somebody's a pedophile off of what I know to be a lie and a false conflation of two different situations, don't post it. If, like, I'm not asking you to not make edgy jokes. I'm not asking you to not, these things are so obvious. I don't even know they need to be said. But just don't do shit like that. Just don't do shit like that. And if you need to do shit like that to be funny, you, like, unironically should, like, go get help, because, like, you clearly are just, like, lacking, like, any ability to conceptualize, like, humor or a fucking joke, if that's the only two things you can do. It's really specific, and it's something you can totally not do and still be funny.
Don't you like redact everything? So it's kind of hard to follow.
Well, you know, that's why I've been on video for 15 years as well. So, you know.
Yeah, I saw that. You remember that old picture of you with the truck that you sent to Nicholas DiOrio?
No.
I remember that picture. I think it's really funny. I think it's kind of cute, Dad. I think it's like.
Do you think I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about, but if you think that I'm like embarrassed of whatever it is, if I sent it, I'm not.
You said that you regretted sending it, but that's okay. I'll stop talking about it, Dan. I don't want to make you uncomfortable.
You can send whatever you want, and that's one of the benefits of being a guy like me and living your life online, is that you can put out whatever, hold nothing back, throw it all out, every fucking piece. But that's not going to stop me from dropping the shit I have about you and about other people.
If you want to drip drop shit, I guess, like, I mean, if that's your strategy, notice how these people are strategy oriented. Notice how they're not like doing stupid shit for the sake of making their friends on Discord laugh. They're actually like strategy oriented. Have you ever perceived this? Maybe it's time you should consider that. I don't know. But if you want to do that, I guess that serves your strategic purpose. But why? What is this aggressive like expectation to accept claims? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. If you know you're not releasing everything yet, why are people supposed to, like, just take you at your word? If you have something and are going to drop at a later point, fine. But why expect people to buy into that before your later point? And to be fair, Dan said I wasn't fair game. Destiny did, okay? He did, right? Obviously, it's kind of hard for somebody to be more unhinged than Destiny is right now. Destiny did say I'm fair game. And he said I'm fair game because I just wasn't accepting this shit at face value. I wasn't accepting this shit at face value. He made an argument, laid out his evidence, and the evidence made him look like a fucking liar. And I vocalized as such, right?
Cringing, Dad.
Not cringing so much that you're going to release the server logs, though, right? Not that much. You want to know what I have?
I'm
you're
totally
like,
fine with. I'm totally fine with releasing the server logs. I would like them to be released.
Hey, you should call from within.
People don't care about internal. Well, I care about. I align with people in common positions. I don't want to be a part of like broader. I am aligned 150% with people like Queeman. I'm aligned 150%. I don't know if he disagreed with anything I just said, but I'm aligned. But I'm my own person. I want my own community and my own space. And I'm saying for us, for my people. A lot of you are not. I know a lot of you are just watching because of what I'm covering, and that's totally fine. But like for my people, the people under me or whatever, like this goes to. I absolutely fine doing internal critique, and I'm going to do it.
Yeah,
I'll critique other people too, right? Not internally. I'll critique the other side too.
I have done that.
That way, you take away, I am powerless. That's how you stop the rapist.
I will offer this.
Yes.
Oh, rape! Whoa, Dan. We're not allowed to call people rapists in this server. Didn't you hear the rule change?
Okay, well, That's how you stop a abuser. You let yourself.
Whoa,
you
Dan,
know,
Dan,
there you
Dan. Whoa.
Okay.
Why are you making these accusations, Dan? That's not
Are
okay.
you trying to diffuse the subject? You can
No, I'm
release
trying.
the
Well, I
logs
wanted
anytime you want
to.
to.
This is
I would
maximizing,
like the logs to
minimizing,
be
by the
released,
way.
but
Just the
Oh, I don't
tactic that
know
I'm
a lot
referring
of the names of these debate tactics. Like, I just kind of roll with them as they go.
They want to put, yes, that's exactly, yes, it is menacing. It is menacing. And I'm not giving in. I'm not giving in. I know what I've done, and I have done things wrong. I've done stupid fucking shit. I've made stupid fucking jokes that I shouldn't have made, that weren't funny, that just made me look horrible. And people want to disingenuously pretend those jokes aren't jokes to paint me as a wannabe murderer, right? Believe it or not, I actually don't want to murder anyone and never have. I've never... There's been moments where, like, somebody's being so annoying, I'll think, like, holy shit, just, like, fucking kill this person. Like, that's, like, a temporary, like, anger. You know, you ever say it to somebody, like, in, like, a moment of anger or whatever? But I've never actually considered or thought about or am capable of taking another life in a case other than self-defense. But they characterize the jokes as me making serious statements, like denoting intent. I've done stupid shit, but my shit's on the table. My shit's on the table. I have my logs. I have my logs. Also, you can have your logs too. You could just request your data packet from Discord. We're not in the server anymore. Okay? And if you did some shit, you need to say something now. Okay? You need to say something now so this, like, intimidation, drip feeding shit stops, and, like, I don't get fucked over because you're going and they're not presenting their arguments, obviously, but you're denying something that you might have done, right? You need to say something now. And you'd have access to that if you were the one that said it. But my shit's on the table. It can't menace me.
Go.
Yeah, I went through the snarker tactics. I don't know if you saw the show earlier, but we went through all the snarker
The
tactics.
worst shit I've done is out there. The most embarrassing personal details about me are out there. And unironically, and the reason I got over it is because it's like, what else is there now? I've been through it. Like, what else is there?
Tactics that they engage in, and this maximizing.
I wouldn't be covering DGG or continuing to go after he called me fair game if I didn't go through what I went through 5 months ago, and I wouldn't be doing it. I wouldn't be doing it, right? But all that happened, and I know that that's the worst shit I've done online, and it's out there now. So it's like, I just don't really have anything to be scared of anymore.
Infiltration when they were already integrated previously.
Anyway, Tiny, do you have Tony? Tiny,
I have.
Tony?
Yeah, I was.
One more
Tony,
question, then we
just
gotta
Tony.
let you go because I want to talk to Dan for a minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. Well, I wanted to ask about the food shops question.
Sure.
Because food shops is.
Is there anything else? I wouldn't know. I'm not in that server. I would hope not. I would hope not. And I take people who I know at their word that there was nothing else because I trust these people. They've never lied to me. But obviously, I'm not in the server and I wasn't at the time. So there could be. I didn't think anyone's... It did, right? But that still doesn't make it a doxing server, right? It's still being, like, maligned.
Somebody who, in the past, has described themselves as a small p pedophile. They've talked openly about their lolicon consumption.
Yes, I'm aware. So what
She
I'm
was
going to do,
on
and what
the
I told
platform
food shops,
for a few hours.
Just real quick. What I told food shops that I would do is, because most of the allegations against her came from sources which I now view as less credible, I will take a look at those accusations again. I am not saying that we're going to change our mind. I don't know, but we will re-review it to see if she can have the content role removed. But I can't litigate that now. I don't know. I'm going to leave that up to my mod team. I think that's fair.
Do you mind if I leave just a final note on that? Something.
Final
from,
note. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hobbit follower came in and said
Your
that
pet retard would never lie to you. Well, I'm giving everyone a freebie here. I'm giving everyone a freebie. Not a freebie per se. It depends on what you did. But if you did some shit like a year ago that you didn't mean maliciously, that's gonna get misinterpreted and used, and I'm gonna have to tell me now. Tell me now. I can work, like, if it was a mistake or it wasn't a pattern of behavior or whatever, that can be dealt with. But if I have to find out through them going forward, I'm just not going to have anything to do with you if I have to find out through them, because that's going to be embarrassing as fuck. I don't want to have to find out anything through them again, okay? I can defend my positions, and I have, based on evidence and information that's presently available to me, and I look like an ass if I'm making an argument that is contradicted by information that somebody else might know that isn't being made available to me. So if I have to find out through them, I'm just gonna be fucking done with you at this point, because you clearly don't give a fuck about my best interest. So why would I care about you?
The previous caller guy, I forget his name, but said that he was a Mr. Girl fan. Food
Benio?
shops. Yeah,
Wait,
Benio,
are you talking about
Food
Kilo?
Shops was
the
a
moderator, Kilo the Giant, the former moderator that said he was upset
Dan,
about
you're rambling, Dan.
people were calling him.
I'm trying to say
that. Oh, I just want to make sure we're talking about the same Mr. Girl person, because I'm talking about.
No, we're
the
talking
Mr.
about
Girl
a different person.
moderator that's
You're
now
talking
known
about a
as
different
Kilo
person, Dan.
Tonics,
Thank you, Dan.
formerly
You're
Kilo the
rambling.
Giant, that said he
Dan,
was
you're
a
rambling.
pedophile. Sorry.
I'm falling
My bad. I
asleep,
rambled.
Dan.
Sorry.
You gotta let him give his last point.
My bad. My bad.
You gotta let him give his last
okay,
point.
Dan.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you very much. So that person was a Mr. Girl fan. Food Shops was also a very big Mr. Girl fan. And you may recall that Mr. Girl was on sort of a public internet crusade where he was trying to push the idea that people should be, where he was trying to argue for the idea that people should try to be empathetic to people who had those proclivities.
I am well
and
aware
as
of Mr.
part of
Girl.
Food
I don't know if
Shops' and as part of Food Shops' fandom of Mr. Girl, she started to imitate this in her version of I guess integrating this this.
Wasn't it leaked that Food Shops was sending explicit messages to somebody that she believed at the time to be 17, the spell comment person? I don't know how much I believe this person is like a real person, as well as somebody pretending, but the point of the matter is, the evidence that was provided seemingly demonstrated that Food Shops believed that, right? So what was the defense there? What was the defense exactly?
Type of activity.
Food Shops claims they thought Belle was 18 or 19. That's you know, maybe I could have understood that argument. Like, I guess like that was the argument Chud used all those years ago or whatever. But this far in the game, like in the present year, if you're not explicitly getting, like, I feel like every content creator knows that you should be asking the age of whoever it is if you're sexting random people at all, right? I don't sex people, so I don't have to worry about that. But like, if you're sexting people, everybody who has like a channel or something invested in Defend, or you know, in general, even if you don't have a channel, you should be knowing the age of the fucking person you're talking to, right? Because how many people need to get called out for this before you can keep claiming ignorance? Unless the person Chud asked, yeah, you're right. That's a good point. So Chud asked, did Food Shops ever ask?
Activism was to out herself for her lolicon consumption, to claim that her therapist told her to consume lolicon, which is not what happened.
Okay. We're gonna.
She also said, "Oh, Dan, while you're here," she also said your family deserve to be doxxed and swatted, and I think that is a grotesque thing for anybody to say. I don't think anybody should be doxxed and swatted, but yeah, that's my last thought. So
not even Hitler.
Not even Hitler.
Okay.
Okay. Well, then you're obviously not living your fucking morals.
I'll see you later, Tony.
Well,
Wait,
Hitler-
Tony.
Yeah?
I just want to say that you did fucking garbage. Also, shout out to Spicy Chat, and you know, try not to fuck
Dan,
any
don't
children.
fall in the pool, okay? Dan, don't fall in the pool, okay?
What is that? He just left. Why is he run? Why?
I moved him out, to be clear, because I was done.
Oh,
Food Shops
God damn
thing
it.
is too
Well, okay.
complicated to TLDR probably, but no, they didn't cut contact. I don't know what Duckbringer is talking about. Yeah, I don't know either. I don't remember. I literally looked for that part when I saw. If I'm wrong on this, I will apologize. I didn't say I think. I think I just said that happened. So if I was wrong on this, I'm totally open to being corrected and apologizing. Actually, fuck that. Fuck that. Food Shops is claiming I unironically wanted to rape and kill somebody. So fuck that shit, dude. Fuck you. I'm not apologizing. But I'm open. I'm not going to repeat it if I was wrong, because I hold myself to standards that they don't. So if I was wrong on that, I'm totally open to being corrected.
Okay, so Dan, what's up? What can I help you? You wanted to come on stream and you wanted to talk, and so here we are.
I was just watching. No, I was watching Comp Slop, and I was watching Tony get fucking bodied, and I don't know. I just thought I'd come in. That's all. Also,
right, so that's that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I will say, you know what's really funny?
Okay.
Okay. All right, hold on. Just hold on 1 second. Let me just clear one thing before. Give me 2 seconds. Hold on.
Oh, okay. Okay. We're getting
the magical smiley's banned from a lot of communities for being weird. So I briefly spoke to this magical smiley person because they were like they would DM me every stream with important info. Like if I'd ask someone to pull up a link or whatever, they'd be in my DMs DMing it to me. And there was one stream we were covering the Japan drama or whatever the fuck, and they're like, "Oh, I'm Japanese or whatever." So I asked them some questions. They flipped out on me. Unironically, they were 18. They're 18. They were over 18 at this point. Obviously, I don't know what this person looks like. I obviously wasn't interested. I just don't have any Japanese viewers, so it was interesting. I like talking to people about where they come from. Any of the foreign people in my server will fucking vouch for that. But I asked, and they literally just like, they're like, because I asked something along the lines of, I think the question was, are you like, because they were I'm like, are you like a migrant to Japan? Or are you ethnically Japanese? Which I get is like a bit of an invasive question. They like lost their shit on me. They're like, you're a streamer. Why would I ever answer a question? I'm like, okay, fuck. I didn't mean to be offensive. But I went and investigated the claims against this person because I wanted to know if because I legitimately am convinced, I thought this is a guy pretending to be a Japanese, I thought this was a guy pretending to be a fucking Japanese, girl online. Because I watched their videos and it was a dude's voice. I go and investigate the claims because I was going to ban this person from my community because supposedly there's some unhinged, fucking edgelord. Or not edgelord, some unhinged person. So I go and do some digging and all I saw was them making, edgy jokes. That's literally it, where they were like, I'm going to send gore or some shit. And it was just the people in Beckett's server that, took that completely seriously. I obviously don't say shit like that. Once again, your jokes at this point should not involve threats. Okay, your bitch should not be. This person on my space anymore. They're weird as fuck, right? But the whole unhinged angle to it, that this is a crazy unhinged, they are crazy. I'll attest to that. But they haven't done anything that's super immoral to my knowledge.
Permission, gang. We are phoning into command right now. Okay, we're phoning into command. We're gonna get the go ahead, the green light. We'll see.
I sent you a screenshot if you want anything specific. Let's take a look. I think it's a strange situation. Nothing necessarily wrong, except that it is pretty feels like a corruption of what made SCP cool. Oh yeah, since you're 18, you can rejoin my server. Okay, so after sexing this person, they knew were a minor. They knew this person was a minor. After engaging in they knew now that this person was a minor and that they were sexting this person. So what would you do if you made the mistake of sexting a minor because you didn't ask for the age? What would you do? Would you continue talking to them after they turned 18? Fuck no. You wouldn't talk to them at all. You just made a huge fuck up. You want to cease all communications with this person. First of all, you should never be in a position like that. But if you are, why would you ever invite them back into your space after you know you were sexting them as a minor? Why? Well, I think we know why. I think we know why. Honestly, I think we know why. And then they say, oh, wait, I'm being told by the mods you're posting porno, NSFW, extreme stuff in general. Chill, you may have turned 18 now, but yeah, not that. Lol. What the fuck were they what were they posting in general that was so unhinged that food shops had to tell them to chill?
Okay, what's really fun. Okay, so as you know, 2 weeks ago, some fucking dude reached out to Lonerbox. I'm assuming a Lonerbox fan, with all of the.
But this shows that the contact didn't stop after they learned this person was I don't know if they reached out. The question is, when did food shops figure out this person was a minor? if you were sexting them when they were a minor by mistake, you've gotten them in a position where when they were a minor and easily susceptible, it's not like you magically a switch flips when you turn 18 and you're like a whole different person. But while they were a minor and vulnerable, you got them to the point where they were willing to engage in sexting with you. So when you talk to them right after they become an adult, that shit you did with them with a minor is still playing influence. That still plays a role in the dynamic. So why would you not cut communication if you're somebody that doesn't want to be doing something like that? How old isn't Food Shop's like 24?
These leaks.
Yes.
And Lonerbox is like a fucking retard and doesn't publish any of the stuff. So then they go to Hutch. And I think Hutch publishes some of it about himself.
Yeah.
But then I think they fucking hated Destiny. So Destiny gets it last. And then, but we get the whole thing. We go through it. And it's so funny. So the second that this all gets, I guess the second it all got publicized, they must have gotten rid of like half the fucking server or something because we got kicked out.
Oh,
but
shit.
now they've opened up the server. And because people hate some of the people in the server so much again, fucking in there right now watching these fucking retards coordinate. It is the funniest fucking shit in the world.
Okay. Oh shit.
Wait, I feel like I have to say proof or else they're not gonna believe it. They're gonna say it's a gay app. Hold on.
What's your proof? Give it to me.
Hold on. I'm doing this on two computers. Frugals, Dan's gonna need to update the Claude plan to deal with this new update. I don't think so, homeboy. I think I'm doing all right. Ooh, Frugal's mad. Ooh, wait, what else is going on here? Hold on. Someone said live Tony suicide, I guess. I don't think that means that Tony's doing so hot in that call. What do you think, Whick?
Oh no. Can you at least scroll back to see what they thought of
Tony,
Benny
they're
O? I'm just
shitting on
really
you in
curious.
your own Discord, my guy. This would never happen other places, bro. This is what I'm talking about. You guys are such fucking scumfucks, bro, that people turn against you. Like, ugh, I don't even know. You have no principles, no morals. Like, that's I mean, that's my biggest issue with the server. You know when they have the thing. It was this a Chappelle thing?
Oh, muted? Fuck. Sorry. I said the one thing that we never do in this space is turn on our own. That doesn't happen. And then I laughed and said, I'm just kidding. That's what I said.
They say, my biggest issue is the hypocrisy. And it's like, you sure it's not the raping? I'm going to say here, the biggest issue, it's not the raping. It's the hypocrisy. Okay. I don't like this server that they're saying they're better than me. You are not better than me. None of you guys in here are better than me. You're all worse than me. Okay. Because you lie about it. That's it. Spicy Chat and other places, at least they somewhat hold to their fucking principles. As I said before, I didn't see fucking Chub Logic in there. Okay. He wasn't in there. And Queenan, when he was in there, told you guys to stop being fucking retarded. I see people like fucking Tony in there actually doing fucking gay ops. Okay. So that's all I'm gonna say right there. It's like, it's cringe as fuck.
You have to, we have to just like excise like the retard. It has to happen. It has to happen. We're all locked in. Queenan's locked in. Everyone's locked in. I'm not saying that as in like people are seeing evidence in their face of like some form of wrongdoing, but like you just have these like spurgs frolicking around, like you just have these like spurgs like frolicking around that then just like implicate us. I don't know what Tony did exactly. I honestly don't know. I know that he's a bit of a fucking idiot, so I'm not sure. I know whatever it was, it would have been shot down by someone like Queenman if he was seeing it, if it crossed some moral line, or anyone else who actually matters in this space. But like, I'm just so sick of having to explain away whatever like these like little retards are doing. It's just like fucking exhausting. That does not mean, and I need to say this once again, that does not mean doxing. That means the jokes. That means the edgy jokes, like what Wendy said, that I had to fucking apologize now. That shit, right? That doesn't cross a hard moral line. But you have to stop being retarded. You have to stop being retarded. I'm not talking about the serious shit. You obviously can't do any of that. And that's obviously always been moderated in all of our spaces and in that server, which is why they had to dig back to like a year ago for the example of like PI. But if they have anything else, I haven't seen it, right? I'm hoping not. And I don't think they do because I don't think the people that told me otherwise would lie to me, right? But it is not, this has never been a pro-doxing space. What I rather should tell you that, right? It has been moderated when it gets seen and attention is brought to it to people that actually matter here. Shit gets done. It has never been tolerated. I'm talking about the shit that doesn't necessarily cross a hard moral line. That's just retarded. Like, just don't be retarded, please, please.
That's all I'm gonna say
for the logs. Okay.
You know, the thing is, like, a lot of people. There's even people in there that talked a fuck ton. I think even some of them are like spicy chatters, but like you didn't see. Like, I'll shout out one thing that I shouldn't. There was a guy named QQ that was in there, and people were doing fucked up shit, and some of it got deleted. And he, the whole time, he didn't have to, and he was saying you shouldn't be doing this shit.
Good. Yes. Okay, I like to QQ. That's my no QQ's an everyone guy, but yes. If you see it, say something, because shit does inevitably get missed. We're not like a fucking we're not like a giant community here with like locked in, paid for mods and shit running a fucking shit gets missed, and Spurgs do stupid fucking shit that we would never tolerate. But unfortunately, if something does get missed, it can't be moderated, right? So if you see some shit like that, you need to unilaterally denounce it. You need to tell someone. I don't like to encourage like snitching, but like in this case, it's like you need to understand the game at this point. Like, you just need to understand. This has always been the game, just to be clear. It's always been the game. But you need to really fucking get it now. You need to really get it.
And I respect that. Like, in a place where no one fucking has to see anything, that's good behavior. And I saw that from a few people. And I think it's important to call out some good behavior when you see it, because if you're just gonna be like everyone in there is fucking evil,
which we do when it gets brought to the people that matter here, when this shit was brought to everyone's attention, call this shit out and moderate it, because doxing doesn't help us. Shit like doxing, shit that crosses those moral lines, all it does is help them. If you're doing it, you're probably fucking working for them, because you clearly don't want to benefit you clearly don't want to benefit the arguments made by the opposition, right? You're clearly trying to fucking smear. Like, it's just like I just don't get why. I don't get it. I don't know if I know that like the Kiwi Farms people do shit, right? I don't know any of them, and I have no connections to them, and nobody I know seemingly has any connections to them. And I know that they did do shit to people around Destiny, and that wasn't okay. That was absolutely not okay. I am happy to say that I don't know who did it. And I know they weren't in our space. To my knowledge, they weren't. Nobody's demonstrated to me they were even close to us, right? There are a lot of people that just don't like Destiny, including some unhinged ones, right? Hopefully Dan can bring up this idea to GG. True.
Work.
Well, that's why I said that, like, there are levels.
I said it very transparently. You can't just like openly. You cannot openly dox in our space without committing reputational suicide. You've never been able to do that. It's never been allowed. When it has been brought to us, it is reputational suicide. It's a hard line. Nobody wants that tactic being introduced into a discussion, because what it does is it enables these freaks to justify it against us, right? People have an interest in preserving themselves, their own safety, their anonymity, their reputations, etc. It is not in our interest, right? They, on the other hand, have justifiable instances they claim justifiable instances of doxing, call for the doxing of people openly. It is a doxing community. It is a doxing community. You could openly dox someone in that space, or admit to dox someone in that space, and so long as it was like a vocal critic of Destiny's, you wouldn't be completely socially excised from that community, would you?
Of culpability.
That's the difference between fucking stupid, like negligent moderation versus like an actual community that tolerates the presence of doxing.
Here, like, I don't have beef with you if you were just in the server and you didn't participate in these kind of activities and harassment and campaigns and coordination.
Well, like that's the whole thing, is like, genuinely, if you go through and you've looked through it kind of like as much as I've looked through it, and it's a lot. Like, I haven't been able to go through everything, but like, if you look through it, there's like people that take a blind eye to it, and then there's people that like genuinely don't fucking say anything. Like, Queeman was in there, but he has like fucking 20 messages. He doesn't do fuck all. So useless there.
Yeah, yet he's gonna be implicated. They're gonna try to implicate him for what random shitters do. Right? It's like so funny that whenever they look into it, the people that Destiny vocalizes like the most against, as I'm being fair game and shit, it's like funny how any examples they bring up are completely separated from the fucking from the people they actually spend most of their time targeting.
As a content creator, just as other places, watching other people's shit,
Fair
same
enough.
shit.
Do you watch the Something Else stream after Dan leaves? No. Hold on. I gotta join an online class. I'm just gonna stay muted. One sec. One sec. I gotta go to class, guy. It's in the fucking I don't give a shit. Be very careful reacting to anything else. Why? Wait, hold up. One sec. Shit. All right, I'm muted. I know. All right, anyways.
But like, then you look at fucking Ryle Kittenhouse and fucking J-Stock, and the two of them are like nonstop fucking jerking themselves. Like, here's my big issue with those two fucking retards. I don't give a fuck if you're a critic of me or you're a critic of someone else. The issue becomes when you're not a critic anymore, you're a fucking saboteur, literally sabotaging the fucking movie cameras and auditioning for extras on the fucking movie. Bro, that is not you. Damn. You got a fucking problem, man. You are obsessed with Destiny to a level that's not healthy.
What does that even mean?
You're not a critic anymore. You're a fucking saboteur, literally sabotaging.
Okay, so why is it, it's not even like, so why is it that the people that get targeted, why is it that the people that get targeted by these types are like the people that aren't doing this, that they've created some tenuous, dishonest link to the activity itself so they could justify this, not that it would be justified against the people that actually did it, but, right, the people that they look at these bad acts and justify it against are people that are totally disconnected from it, right? You're responsible for what you see and what you choose to do. And they just, the people that Destiny calls fair game and blames for this are totally separated from the justifying acts.
Fucking movie cameras and auditioning for extras on the fucking movie. Bro, that is not you. Damn. You got a fucking problem, man. You are obsessed with Destiny to a level that's not healthy. Like, every piece of content that guy does, every single one is about Destiny. And it's just like, bro, I understand the guy, he's a fucking deviant, okay? I get that. But to dedicate your life to it, that means...
I used to say things like this. I used to say things like this a week ago. Or, sorry, 2 weeks ago. I used to say things like this. You can ask people. I didn't want to... This was just boring. I thought that I thought that like the A-logs were obsessive. I thought they were all right, but they were just like obsessed. They were covering this way too much. I get it. I get it. I said I get it. I said I get it now. This is important. This is incredibly important. You have somebody that was so influential in our space and has a community behind him, albeit a dying one, that is just filled with sycophants. You are having him justify harm against critics. I can't think of a singular individual that is combating free speech besides Ethan Klein more than Destiny right now, at least in our immediate proximity. You should be able to criticize someone online freely without fear of retaliation in the form of having your identity out there and thus you and the people around you put at risk, right? Because Destiny himself admits doxing creates the room to like commit harm, right? Things like swatting, etc. You have this guy towards people who are literally just critical of him, justifying these types of fair targets. I cannot think of somebody, I cannot think of an individual in our immediate space that is fucking, besides Ethan Klein maybe, that is like declared war on the ability to speak freely than this guy has, short of a dictator.
Is that you are a worse deviant. You're fucking his cast-offs, J-Stock. You got to get your shit together, mate. Move the fuck on. Do something else with your fucking life. Like, it's just embarrassing. Like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. The dude is like, he's lost. And I feel that.
Welcome to the game. Yeah, the game is clear. They've made it clear. Criticize Destiny, and we're going to find some shitter that did something somewhere that you don't know about, so we can justify you as a target of doxing, and therefore put you and your entire family at risk for criticizing us. The game is clear now, isn't it?
Like, he's torn so many people with him, and it makes me sad. But that said, ironically, half the server, I didn't see any bad shit. Maybe more than half. But the other, the other portion,
we'll see.
Fucking
we'll see who gets fucked
shit.
and who's
insane, wild shit.
Yeah,
That's
who
it.
does that? Yeah. Well, thanks for.
So there's that, and that, don't forget that Kilo, unironically, has tens of thousands of messages in Mr. Girl's Discord where he laments that he is called a pedophile. He was a moderator for Mr. Girl. Like, I don't know what to say here. Like, this is just a very awkward situation for everyone that associates with this guy moving forward. I know that he's name changed and whatnot, but it's like, I do not know what is going on here on that situation. I don't know why a guy that is saying he wants like total death of a person is making a video on that guy and then acting unbiased. But I think that bad things should happen to bad people.
Okay. Damn.
Oh, wait. I don't mean like in real life. I just mean like bad things like reputationally, right? Like if you're trying to
You know what? If that's what you wanted to do, that's totally fair. If you actually have evidence of somebody doing something that crosses a strong moral line, if you go and publicize that to criticize them with, be my guest. Destroy their reputation with arguments, right? The problem is that's not what's happening, is it? Right? Everybody is tenuously connected to everybody else through mental gymnastics. So people who don't do things can look like people who do things, and therefore those things that they didn't do are okay to do back to them. Things like doxing, right? It's not that they just want to hurt people reputationally, which you should be able to just do by presenting the evidence itself. So doing this weird drip feeding thing. It is, they want to justify tactics that go beyond that go beyond like criticism in the marketplace of ideas. They want to they want to take this offline. Doxing, somebody takes it offline. Even though it occurs online, you've just made their IRL life accessible to anyone with a gripe against them. Sorry.
reputationally harm other people, that you should say that with your chest. I'm out here.
Also, wasn't Destiny like friends of Mr. Girl? Like after Mr. Girl had I was watching the Ryan Beard video. Didn't Destiny keep this guy around till he wasn't like useful to him anymore and was calling out his behavior? So if Mr. Girl is like this nuclear, which I agree he is, I think Mr. Girl's a creep, but if he's like this like nuclear figure that, I think it turns out he was right about Destiny, right? But if he's this nuclear figure that even being previously associated with him is like indicative of your character or whatever, how do you, I only know who Mr. Girl is, I think because of Destiny, right? Or no, he had like one thing I think that did go viral. That's not true. And then I ended up talking to Mr. Girl myself in a debate or something. It was really weird. But I like DGers in chat, please clarify. I don't even know if we have any actual DG cheers.
On my government name, Daniel Saltman, right here. That's me right now. Okay. And I love people that actually stick to their morals, even when it fucking hurts. Okay. And there's a lot.
And we do, the people that matter, the people that are justified as fair game by Destiny, do you think I wanted to have to cut off somebody that I liked? No, but they crossed a moral line. They crossed a moral line, and it happened undetected a year ago, and I had to do it, and it's unfortunate, but I did, and I know for a fact Queen did the same thing. All of the people that they're maligning and smearing, okay, as fair game of these tactics, or okay with these tactics, or permissive of these tactics, all of these types actually do stand by their morals when it comes to this, and take action when it is brought to their attention. With that being said, I do gotta go to class, guys. We've had great viewership this whole stream. I'm gonna send you into Queeman. Much appreciated, everybody, for all the support. 200 concurrent was fucking insane. Thank you guys so much. We hit goal. I don't even know what to say. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.